Welcome back to We Got Goosebumps, a podcast dedicated to the landmark horror series for children, written by R.L. Stine back in the 90s. I'm your therapist who thinks all the ghosts are in your head, silly Billy, Dylan.
Hey, Dylan, and I'm your silly cat who creates chaos out of spite. I'm Travis. It's always the cat.
I feel like that's all cats, really. Like, is there any cat that doesn't use its pure spite for someone or something, and then it's a chaos engine that runs on spite. But
it either sleeps or creates chaos. It's got two modes.
I don't miss having cats, I'm going to be honest with you. I over the course of my childhood, I think we went through about 13 to 15 cats.
When you say you went through them, what were you doing with them?
Did you ever read that I think I sent it to you directly about the guy who was having a conversation with a neighbor, and he was just like, the guy's like, man, it's expensive getting cats from the pet shelter. And he's like, why you keep getting cats? He's like, well, I get a cat, and then a coyote eats it, so I have to get a new cat. And it's like, it sounds like you're feeding cats to coyotes. And but yeah, that was my childhood. No, I'm just kidding. We took care of the cats. It's just over the course of 20 years, a lot of cats. I think I went through a lifetime of cats through those 20 years. We were just, my mom would go out there, gather up a handful of cats and be like, we got some new cats, everybody. And,
wow.
Yeah, that's how my family worked.
Crazy cat lady. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But enough of my childhood, because we're going to get into Travis's childhood real soon, I feel like.
Every time, yeah.
But right now we're talking about number 13 in the series of Goosebumps. I don't know if you recall, but this is a podcast about Goosebumps, a children's book series from the 90s. And the title is Piano Lessons Can Be Murder, which was released in November of 1993. I'm going to ask you, Travis. I know you play musical instruments. You have the knowledge and know-how to play at least guitars. Can you do other things, though, too, right? No, just
I barely
guitars.
do guitar. It's a fitting segue. I took guitar lessons for a couple of years in college, and I didn't transform any of those lessons into any apparent skill. I was active for a couple years, and now I just own guitars, and I'm one of those guys who owns guitars.
Oh, okay. So you and I are kind of on the same page, except I think I'm much further behind. I do have a guitar that has, I've touched it. I've occasionally fiddled with little knobbly bits on the end and made it tighter.
Yeah. Tighten the knobbly bits, yeah. I've gone at it with I've fingered mine a couple of times.
Oh, that's nice. They like that, I've heard.
Get
a strum out.
You can tell by the sound that it's digging it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no, I'm musically declined.
Oh, good. Me too. That's
out of the game.
I hate it when my friends are musically inclined. I feel like I need to do something about that, like break their fingers or something. I just don't like it when people are better at certain things than I am.
I know. The best I could do now is rap, a parody rap for you. I can't freestyle, but you give me like a week, I can come up with a pretty good ditty about like balls or something. That's my style. You know? Low effort rap.
Well, actually, which are the two of you? You're in the rap group Briz and Diddles. Are you Briz or are you Diddles?
I'm Diddles. You know who Briz is.
Oh, Briz just goes by his rap name all the time? I thought that was just Oh.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't listen to the show, let's be honest.
No, he can't read.
No, it's fair. But I also am very musically disinclined. So, actually, Briz did the music for our podcast. We probably shouldn't shit on him so much, huh?
That's actually a good point. He did. He did a great job. He is actually very musically inclined. He'll occasionally strum down a guitar or drop a beat or something. I have a lot of. It's good to have musically inclined friends that you can leverage for your podcasting purposes, like our friend Harvest Black for Uncle Doug and some other folks, because it saves you a ton of money through Fiverr. You don't got to pay those people. You just get your friends to do it.
You know what?
I feel like that was an ad against Fiverr, but maybe it was.
I'm going to be honest with you. I definitely did not pay $5 at Fiverr for my stuff. So, bit of a misnomer. I don't know if you've been to a dollar store recently, but what's the big idea? You go in there and it's like $1.99. That's not what I signed up for. I'm sorry. This is a really bad stand-up act in the middle of this. So.
It's a good point. The Dollar Tree has been burning our ass for years.
Mm-hmm.
Reel it in. Call it $5 Tree or don't call it shit.
Like when I was a kid, this isn't a case of like, oh, I remember when I went to the Dollar Tree and everything was $1 or under. No, they were pulling that shit when back in the 90s too. Speaking of the 90s, our book series came out then.
Yeah, November 93. Yeah.
Circled us back and then stalled us out. That's the best way to do a segue is to do a callback and then just immediately let it sit there and roast and get feted in the heat of silence. There's nothing worse than dead silence on a podcast. So let's do the next best thing on a podcast and let's talk about art. Just visual art.
Mm-hmm. Let's get kicked off with Tim Jacobus, our boy. I'm going to say he didn't have a lot to work with here. He had a book that was focused on pianos and hands, and I'm going to say on that alone, he delivered. Now, I don't suspect he ever read the books completely. Maybe he skimmed for some inspiration, but my bet is that he got collect calls from R.L. Stine, who was too cheap to actually let the call be answered, and it would just be like, you got a collect call from pianos and hands. And then Tim Jacobus had to go off of that to draw covers, and he did good given a collect like a 10-10-3-2-1 quickie.
I'm glad that you've made a reference that very few people who are born in 1993 are actually going to understand. It's pretty bare. I mean, it's kind of spooky. You got severed hands playing a very curved piano, like very curved. Yeah. Like it's probably one of them fancy Las Vegas show pianos.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. Like a lounge singer probably uses this kind of. But there's also only has one leg.
It does look like it was out of like Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, there's no real depth to the like. There's only one piano leg that it's almost as if the picture just stops after a certain point and you don't see anything. It's just a red background.
Right, it looks unfinished. I wish instead of the red background, I think it just needs a background. I think it needs something back there. Whether it be just a curtain or a floor or something, it needs something.
You know what? I just thought
to place it.
I thought of a minimal background, just a spotlight on the piano and the hands and everything, and a wooden floor and then darkness behind it. Boom, you're in a concert hall with done.
Perfect.
Tim, take some notes, Mr. Jacobus. Like I
seriously.
I have
learn how to draw.
I have no visual art skills whatsoever, but Mr. Jacobus, come on.
Which are you least inclined in, music or art?
Music, definitely. I can't even talk about music intelligently, but I can at least, I feel like, talk about, some art. I like Monet. I can say that. There is a painter from over 100 years ago that I enjoy. So that's better than like my musical, which is knowledge, which is like, I like what I like listening to, and I couldn't explain it beyond that. It's like, it's got a lot of strings in it. It's just like, that's all piano, Dylan. Well, there's strings and pianos, right?
Somewhere. If you lift up the lid. For some reason, my like hillbilliness wanted to be like, I can draw a dick, but I can't whistle one, just to let people know I can draw better than I can play music. But, it doesn't stop there. We have covers from the UK and from France. And the UK added, again, Dylan, you got really worked up about this in our pre-show ritual, which is where we just look at the art without recording it. And goddamn, dude, this is something.
I'm so fucking angry. I hate this cover. Just every single time. Like, the Goosebumps logo itself just looks, I'm assuming Marmite. It's just gooey old Marmite on there, just sprayed across this multicolored Jello cube. And just, what'd you call him? Pedophile cyborg Sam Clemens? Like Mark Twain just coming out that goo? Like,
yeah, it looks like Mark Twain T-1000 with pedophile knuckles.
Just. And nothing, most of that's inaccurate. Like, the face is accurate to what it is described from Mr. Shreek. But big spoiler, you don't know there's robots in this until like a third of the way into the book. And then the fact that it's just like, oh, Mr. Shreek is a robot cyborg. Spoilers for people listening to this podcast. But Jesus Christ, this is...
Didn't even fit a piano on there. Could have done the Jacobus ritual of just putting what's in the title on the book. No, they've just... they went out of bounds. Out of bounds.
And that's the lamest cyborg I've ever seen.
It's too happy for a cyborg. Like, what if that guy was like your doctor? Like, he's not...
No. He's
I don't
just
want
like,
that.
Here's a lollipop. And like, okay, go away, my friend.
Yeah, seriously. And then, the French, who led I think most of the European covers look like this. But I'm blaming it on the French for some reason because alphabetically they came up first. But it's kind of a more lame version of Jacobus's take, which is instead of disembodied hands, we have disembodied skeleton hands playing a piano that's not curved.
I will say this is at least not A, a spoiler, and B, at least references what happens in the book at the same time, I guess. Like, I mean, the ghost lady does turn into, like, wow, that was a cool scene in that book, though.
Yeah, that's true.
But one of the things I do both hate and love about this is that the author went to, because, you know, your lower arm is 2 bones. It's not just the 1 bone. And
right.
The artist went to the trouble.
You know that as the Bone Peddler.
As the Bone Peddler, I do know that. Don't follow me on Steam. And went to the trouble of doing both ends of those bones, except it looks wicked awkward. Like, I think you should just left off the arm bones and just left the hands or something, because it looks weird with what is that, the ulna? Just kind of floating off, not even connected to the rest of the hand.
Not even connected.
But I feel like they actually went to the trouble of making anatomically, wow, I didn't even start that, anatomically correct hands. Like, is that how many bones you're supposed to have? That looks accurate to me as a person who doesn't know.
They're like, as a children's book, we've got to nail the hand bones. Yeah. Kids got to learn how many bones are in a hand.
Yeah. And now they'll get a good close-up look at a pair of... I'm just going to say, I don't care what any other country did, as long as it's not the British.
Boy, they do a number on these things, man. I don't know. But also the bones here, jagged cut. Now, when we're going to get into the story, I assume most of those hands were clean cut. This looks like it was chewed off by a dog. So that's also a factor. I'm going to throw in there.
Yeah, it's not very accurate, but, you know.
Yeah. Good job, France. But that's it, actually. There's no, there weren't a lot of other international releases. We don't get the fun Indonesian cover. We don't get a standalone Dutch cover. We don't get a Korean cover or Japanese. We don't get any other covers. It just, it hung out in the UK, Europe, and of course we got Tim Jacobus's North American special. So that's all we get for cover this time around.
Yeah, that's a little disappointing. Cover talk is usually my favorite talk, but honestly, maybe it's just all floating hands over pianos. Like, it's another kind of book where it's hard to think of something that would, I mean, aside from my excellent recommendations to Mr. Jacobus about what he should have done,
sure.
Like, I don't know how many more variations on that theme you can possibly do. It's kind of like Say Cheese or Die. We saw basically every possible permutation of skeletons and cameras that you could possibly do, but ultimately, Skeleton Barbecue is the clear winner in that case. But
I like how you said "or die" as if those kids had an option.
I don't remember titles. All right, I think it's we just need to admit the fact I don't even know the name of the podcast we're on. Whether it's Bumpin' Spookers or Spookin' Bumps or like Getting Goosey or like I don't know what I'm doing right now. I don't know my name.
I can see your
Travis.
Confusion.
I don't know my name.
Bumpin' Spookers is what we put on the calendar, so I can see the confusion.
Okay.
But when we bump Spookers, we're doing it because we got goosebumps. All right, just remember that. It's a little cheat for you. Shall we get into the book, though? Shall we start talking story? Shall we get into this rich, written novel by our pal R.L. Stine? I'm going to jump ahead to the end and just say pretty weak entry for number 13.
Wow.
I was wanting something a little more weak entry for number 13.
You know what? I'm going to say I quite enjoyed this one. So
okay.
I mean,
I almost said, were you going to play devil's adjective? But that's not the right word.
No, I don't play devil's adjective anymore because no one likes people who play devil's adjective or advocate. Like, that's, like, you know what my favorite thing is when I'm talking to someone, having an earnest conversation with them, and they're just like, let me play devil's advocate here and support a belief I don't actually believe in. It's like, no, let's not have that conversation because if you don't actually believe it, then who gives a shit what you think about it?
Yeah, you're just kind of being an asshole for seemingly no reason.
Yeah, this is a talk between friends. What the fuck are you doing, Travis?
Right? Yeah.
You do that.
I would never play devil's adjective with you, bud.
Let's talk about the book. We've talked enough about the covers. Piano lessons, which neither of us took. So, but I imagine I would not have been happy about piano lessons if I was a child. I remember saying the exact same thing, where it's just like, I only want to learn cool rock piano, because I was, as an 11-year-old, I was actually really into Jerry Lee Lewis, which is, I guess, good for Jerry Lee Lewis, because he's also into 11-year-olds. But anyway, as long as they're his cousin.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Maybe like pedophile jokes on the children's book podcast. Not the best motion, but we're going to start.
The UK drew it. They drew the cover.
That's true. They did draw Mark Twain as pedophile robot cyborg. It's kind of like Westworld if all the robots were just pedophiles.
Yeah. If all the robots worked at Subway or something.
Too soon. R.I.P.
Really?
Jared's career. Career?
Is that his
career?
Yeah, he just walked around and talked about sandwiches.
You need to know. You need to know that anyone who walks around talking about like foot-long anythings as their job probably is not someone you should trust around children. I'm just saying. Wow, just really going off to just tangents after tangents. This book, however, Piano Lessons Can Be Murder. I read that. I didn't remember that. Starts off as a lot of Goosebumps books seem to start off with children being moved into a new location and not being thrilled about it. Although I feel like Jerry is actually like the most level-headed about it. He seems pretty like, he rolls with a lot of stuff, which makes it funny that his parents are just like, he must be going crazy instantly. He moved into this new house, psychiatrist. Because Jerry, like from his point of view, is just like, yeah, it's a new house. I like this place. I wonder if we can turn this into a video game room. Like he's just wicked excited about everything. So,
dude, the Nintendo room. Hell yeah. But
they're moving into the house, and we right away find out that Jerry is one of those little shits that likes to prank everybody, which, I'm going to be honest with you, A, lets me know immediately what's going to happen later, which is Jerry's not going to be believed about anything because he's a little shit.
Yeah. Telegraph that one.
So, but I do like what Jerry's pranks are throughout the book and how his parents react to them for the most part, because his parents are a little too laid back about most things, but they're moving into the new house. Jerry's just like, I need to fuck with my parents somehow. Oh, dust balls. I'm going to turn these into little tiny mice. And then he just puts on like an Oscar-winning performance about these dust mice that he's created. And he's just like, Mom and Dad, I'm fucking scared of mice. You know that ever since I got bit as a 5-year-old baby, and they just scared the shit out of me. You have to do something about these mice, please, Mom and Dad. Mom and Dad come booking into the living room. They're rip shit. They're just like, oh, fuck, I'm not mice near my baby boy. And the dad has a broom, and he's taking it to these mice. Now, I understand these aren't real mice, but like the dad was prepared to kill. Just right off.
Yeah, he was out for blood.
He just murdering mice, and then it's only like Jerry starts cracking up, and they realize that the mice are sticking to the broom because they're actually made of dust. And he the way he describes his dad is like his dad turns like beet red and apoplectic and everything, and his mom's just like, Jerome, how you're gonna give your dad a heart attack? And his dad's just like, oh, they're pretty good looking mice. Oh, really thought they were real. Like they're so like kind of like, stop it. We're dealing with a lot of stress right now, but come on, Jerry, like, knock it off. Come on. We're all stressed.
They were going to have to call like a crime scene cleanup after Dad hit him with the broom. It's like Dad was looking for blood. He was like kind of excited.
He wanted to kill something. He wanted to prove himself. He was like, this ain't going to be no straw dogs. I'm going to prove myself as a man. And he just takes it to these two dust mice. Nice, but
you could tell he'd been wanting to kill a cat for years, but no one will let him, so he went after them.
Oh yeah, you think that the parents are both on Bonkers' side, but you find out later in the book that the dad's like, yeah, fuck Bonkers. Like, can we get rid of him? And the mom's just like, what? Both of you now? Like, you turning against me? Is this Bonkers? But the mom's just like, can you just like get out, stay out of the way, keep an eye on Bonkers, sweep up your dust mice creations. And he tells us about Bonkers. He hates Bonkers because Bonkers likes to do this thing where he climbs up onto tall furniture and stuff and jump down on people and just shred them. So we find out Bonkers is a piece of shit. Even to the point where, like, he leaves open the kitchen door in the hopes that Bonkers is going to run out the door and get lost. And it's like, that's a bit sociopathic, even for a 12-year-old, I feel like. But, like, he's kind of excited about this big house. He's sad about losing all of his friends, especially his friend Sean, who burps a lot.
That was a fun little detail in the book about Sean. It never comes back up. It's just Sean's this friend that always comes over, burps way too loud, and Jerry's mom hates it. I love that detail.
But the mom is even just like, he can stay over for a few weeks if you're super sad.
Yeah.
But so Jerry's going around, he's exploring, he has these big plans. So in my version, I believe you've noted that they took the word Nintendo out of the ebook version. Because in my version, it just says a video game room. It doesn't say
Wild.
a Nintendo room.
I loved the Nintendo room, man, because as a kid, I was right there with Jer Bear. I was like, dude, full room just for the Nintendo? Get the hell out of here. That'd be amazing.
Jerry's still exploring. He has these plans too. He's just like, my parents are gonna love this video game room idea. Like, they're just gonna love it. I'm gonna pitch it to them. I got an elevator pitch all ready for him, ready to go. But as he's exploring, he sees like these stairs that go up to the attic. He's like, I've never had an attic before. I want to go see what's in this attic. I bet the people who used to live here left all kinds of crazy shit up there, like a mirror or like a camera, just a whole bunch of crazy stuff. And so he's about to go up into this attic. And then his dad comes up behind him. He's like, "Wah!" And she's like, "Oh, my shit!" Like it's a little prank scare in the middle there for the reader, not necessarily for Jerry. But it's his dad. He's just like, you can't fucking go up there by yourself. You might get eaten by mice. Whatever. Let's go up there. We'll go together. We'll research and investigate everything, which is nice. But his dad's actually a little bit involved in his life, and I think this is the first time that a parent has actually been there when the child has discovered the cursed item. Usually, there's not a parent around, There's no one around when they found the mirrors and the cameras and stuff. Although the mom did eventually find the mirror, too. But
I do have a nice childhood memory from this, not a traumatic one that's similar. Because I lived in an old, creepy house. Very old, very creepy.
There were snakes in the walls.
And I was... literally snakes in the walls. And I would be afraid often, because it was all aluminum siding, tin roof. It made noises all the time. And it was just a spooky old house anyway. My mom had a room just for dolls, to give you an idea of how spooky the house was. And
spooky or
I remember... Well, it depends on, honestly, the time of day and what you're doing in front of them. But I got scared one night, and I called for my dad or my parents, and my dad came up. And I was like, I'm just so afraid. I don't know. I wasn't this reasonable as a kid. I was bawling my eyes out probably. But in an essence, I was like, Dad, just real spooked out up here, bud. If you could help me out. Like, I'm not having a good time. I'm in my head. And he took me around upstairs in the dark with his little flashlight. Made sure to open up everything. Was like, look, dude, there's nothing in here. There's nothing in there. What's the next place you're afraid of? I'm like, over there. Shine a light. Go over there, too. Basically walked me through the dark and showed me that there's nothing to be afraid of. And you know what? I slept pretty good for another couple of nights after that. So sometimes having your pa go up and, sort of call out where the spooks are and prove to you that there's nothing there, it's good. It's good bonding.
I do like that, like, those times in reality and in fiction where, like, instead of the parent just being like, "You're full of shit, kid. Like, get over yourself." They're just like, "Hey, let's go take a look, see and see what might be scary."
Yeah.
It's so they're exploring the attic together. Jerry's pretty excited until he realizes there's nothing in there. Like the people who used to live here, they didn't leave behind golden treasures or whatever. And he's kind of bummed. The dad's excited for the same reason I would be excited about an attic in my adulthood, which is, holy shit, the storage. Oh my god. We have an attic that is like so huge. I'm very excited about it.
Really?
Oh my god. It's the whole width and breadth of the house. We've done the lazy person thing where everywhere around the stairs, junk. But we still have like a whole house worth of space to play with up there. It's amazing.
Well, that is cool.
I love storage space. But Jerry does notice something in the corner with a quilt over it. He's just like, And I think that, fingers crossed, I think this could be something good. Goes over there, whips the cover off, and it's a shiny black piano. Now, again, as an adult, a large-scale instrument, just the value alone.
And how did he get up here? I mean, come on.
I mean, who cares about that?
They do get it down.
Yeah, we do need to know how.
Yeah.
Well, you're not the one who moved it. It was two piano movers that actually had to move it. So, like, don't act like it wasn't a big deal for you to do it, sir. Because I didn't see you with sweat on your brow as you're trying to struggle to get that. You're just being like, oh, it is no big problem at all. I just had to pay $300 in 1993 money, and these two guys named Brutus, they took care of it for me.
Two Brutuses was actually the name of the company.
Yeah, two Brutuses. You want us Brutuses? We'll Lutuses it. They didn't really come up with a good slogan. I'm going to be honest with you. The two Brutuses, like, it's just like, we won't stab you with high charge rates. Bada bing.
Oh, man.
If you need me to write advertising jingles for you, I'm available. DylanPCharles@gmail.com. So, there's a bit of a mystery about the piano. Jerry's a little excited about it because he thinks he can do some Jerry Lee Lewis. Oh, he's Jerry.
That had to be the connection that was made by RL.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I call him RL, sure.
But he's trying to sleep that night. He can't really get to sleep. He's just, you're in a new place. Same old bed, but a new place. The house is settling. Probably those scary spooker noises in the corner. There's a lot of like creaks and groans, but just as he's about to fall asleep, he hears the faint sound of piano music coming from the attic. Now, Jerry, he can add 1 + 1. He knows there's a piano upstairs. He hears piano music. Boom! He goes up to the attic, and that's kind of where we leave off. There's not really a cliffhanger here. He just goes to explore the attic where the piano is sinisterly playing. I feel like bump. I feel like that's kind of like what would be good, like a piano like. What would be the piano equivalent of like bum bum bum? Like that's not a piano, right? That's a trumpet. It's like the
ding ding dee doo dee.
It's not a fucking Zelda game, and you didn't just open a treasure chest. What the fuck are you doing?
What?
What are you doing?
I don't like.
Fine. Dun dun dun. You do chapter.
There we go. Okay, chapter 2. I will say chapter 1 very long. It was 10 full pages of a Goosebumps book, which is like a hefty percent.
I love that you were about to do the actual percentage, because 8% actually sounded realistic, and like 30% of the whole book. Like you're supposed to.
I think it's
be
close,
a little hyperbolic there. You don't have to be. That's like 20% of the book. You did actual math. I'm impressed with you.
Yeah, it's a little over 120 pages. So yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, so he calls up. Hey, what's going on up there? What is that? Who that music is? Who's up there? No answer. And the melody is very slow and sad. And he actually thinks for a second, he's like, is that coming from outside? At first, but then he's like, no, that's up there. So now he's getting scared because he's like, oh shit, yeah, that's that piano I saw with Pa up there. I think he even considers like maybe it's bonkers. Yeah, that would put him at ease. It's just the cat up there tapping around, but it's like the cat's got some fucking melody. Like the cat's stringing together some. Okay, it's not the cat. I guess.
I do like.
Well, that sucks.
I do like at one point the cat. Obviously, the cat does have to be the cause for the music at some point, because you don't introduce a cat in a piano and not have the cat on the piano at some point. But when that does happen, it's not. It's just like suddenly the piano starts making weird, crazy noise, and that's the only time is when it's. Sorry, spoilers for that. But I do like the fact that when the cat does eventually show up, it's not a tune or anything. It's just like, oh no, the ghost must be super mad. No, it's just fucking bonkers. Great kids show.
It's true.
You ever watched that on Disney Afternoon? Bonkers? Yeah. It was basically a ripoff of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because it's about a cartoon character, Toontown, and partnered with a human cop, who's also a cartoon in this case, so it's a little weird, but yeah. It was basically just...
Wow, you're like
basically just Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the cartoon show.
A bonkers expert over here in the house. Well, and stay tuned for a bonkers podcast, our bonus ep. But... he starts going up the stairs. Now, Dylan, I have an issue with this entire story about temperature. The story takes place in the cold winter months. Christmas is referenced. It is cold. It is cold several times. Yet somehow the attic remains hot and stuffy, no matter what is happening.
I'm going to say you clearly do not live in a cold climate that has an attic, because attics can be still hot and stuffy in the winter, because that's where all the heat goes. It goes up.
Sure, we'll see. But
I'm talking to my ass. It's, you know what? Fuck it. It's cold and drafty in my attic right now. So
my attic would be about 1,000,000 degrees right now, but it's hot. And if it's cold outside, my attic's cold, because it's just the way it works. It's not, we don't heat it or cool it. Anyway, he's up in this attic and it's hot, right? And he goes up there and it's dark and he's calling out, who's up here playing that piano music? And, of course, no one's replying to that. And then he feels something touch his face and he's like, what was that? Who? There's a light chain touched his face, freaked him out, which I've had happen to me a couple times, and it feels like a spider web is on my face, and I just want to rip all the flesh off of my head and burn it in that moment. So I feel for you there, J-Rare. That's fair. But he turns on the light, then the music stops. As soon as he turns on the light, that's weird. No one's up there. He's looking around. There's no one up there. Keeps looking around. Looks under the bench. Like, did someone just hide under this bench? Which is a step further than I would have taken it. If I'd gone up there and then I heard piano music and I turned the light and it stopped, I'm probably just going to run right back down the steps.
Well, Jerry's like pretty, like, he's pretty chill about everything. Yeah. And, like, you know, he follows some logical steps. He's not a lunatic where, like, the first thing he goes up is tell everyone about his ghost piano or whatever. Like, I don't think he even tells Kim about the ghost piano. He tells her other stuff that makes her freak out before he can get that far. But he's a pretty level-headed little dude. I will say that. Yeah.
And he's one of the few of our kids that have had therapy recommended and was one of the few that didn't need it.
Oh, yeah. He seems like he's pretty well put together. Like, aside from the pranks, like, but his pranks aren't that bad, really. Like, the dust mice?
No.
Not bad.
That's fun. That's fun prank. That's good stuff. Put that right on your prank TikTok. I don't give a fuck. But, inspects the piano. What's going on with this? What's going on? Does it have an autoplay thing? What's going on? Is it plugged in somewhere? Then he feels the bench, and the bench was warm. Now, we've already talked about how it's somehow hot up here, even though it's cold winter months. Still, the attic runs hot, you know? It's like my Uncle Ernie, just always sweating. And, he's like, okay. Well, maybe it's because it was hot up here. Maybe it's not because someone was just sitting here and left. Okay, that'd be silly. But he starts fiddling with the piano. Bing dong, ding. That's how I fiddle with the piano. I can't play anything, so I just bing bong. I hit the black keys a couple times because I'm always like, what the fuck are these for? Do people play with these? I hit those a couple times, smash the white ones a couple times in a row. And then he hears a floorboard creak. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Now, Dylan, you and I are probably immediately like, oh, that's his dad.
Oh, yeah.
But Jerry's like, oh, God, that's the ghost of Liberace coming back up here to murder me. And here's creak, creak. Here's them footsteps approaching up them steps. It's clear to him now someone is on the stairs. And they're climbing up to the attic. And he's trapped. Bum, bum, boom. Chapter 3.
To be fair to Jerry, he doesn't know he's only in chapter 2 of a Goosebumper, so he's not aware that it's not going to be anything supernatural. It's probably a parent, friend, or relative who's fucking with him in some way, shape, or form. But it's Dad. It's just Dad being like, what the fuck are you doing up in the attic? It's bedtime, motherfucker. I already told you not to be in here by yourself because you might get eaten by brown recluses or some shit. So, and I can see by your notes that you always love the dad descriptions. And so you've got...
I love a good dad description, dude.
He's balding. All the dads, I think, after a certain point are balding. Like, you have, like, even in all the way back in the beginning, and upstairs, downstairs, wherever that book was called in the second book, where the dad he's wearing that Dodgers cap. And, but it's cover of new growth, actually. It's not even to cover up the loss of his hair. But I think the kids even joke that, like, oh, he's probably fucking going bald. Do you know how Dad is with his fucking sunburned head? But, he's up there. His pajamas are all a mess. He's got the one rolled up to a whole one knee. I hate that when you wake up and, like, your like, the pant leg is all the way up or whatever. Like, it just got so angry.
It's like, did I join a gang in the night? What is going on with this?
That's what I would have also thought. What is happening? So he's, dad's a little crabby. They spent all day moving. I don't know if you're an adult who's moved before, but it sucks. Like, it's not fun like when you're a kid and you don't have to actually do any work. Like, it sucks. It's the worst thing in the world. All you can think about is, like, how much time you have and how much money is going down the shitter. About everything. It's the worst thing that can happen to a grown man is to move.
Is this your trauma party that we're having right now?
There was a period in my life where I moved like every 2 years, like as an adult. Just every 2 years. But the fact that I've lived in this apartment for like 7 years at this point, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop all the time.
I was going to say, you going to die there? Or you thinking of getting out?
I hope to die here, even if it's tomorrow. So...
Oh, no. We've got a whole season
So
left.
Dad's just like... You can replace me at that point. So Jerry's just like, I came up here because I thought I heard piano music. And Dad is, of course, like, all right, come on, man. Like, it's late. You moved. You're obviously doing one of your pranks. Just go back to bed. And, like, Jerry is fixated on the piano. And the dad notices, and he's just like, you think maybe you want to learn how to, like, tinkle the old ivories? And Jerry's like, yeah, I mean, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I thought there was a ghost here. Yeah, sure. It would be great to learn how to, play the piano. And then I think that's the one thing about Jerry is, like, he gets these big dreams about stuff immediately, like his video game room or whatever. Like, he gets into fantasy zone immediately. He's just like, oh man, I'm going to be like a piano rock star in 1993, because that's a thing. Kids love the piano. Like, he's dreaming about being like, oh man, I'm going to be great at the piano. This is going to be amazing. And then he's about to fall asleep. And then he hears the piano music up in the attic again.
Oh no.
It's not really, it's less of a cliffhanger, because it's just more of like, shit's still spooky.
Still spooky.
End of chapter 3.
Well, end of chapter 3. Well, Monday morning, wakes up very early. He's got one of those cat clocks with the moving tail and eyes, which is kind of neat. We've all wanted one of those. At least I still kind of do. I might get one tomorrow, actually. I got an Amazon gift card burning a hole through my nightstand. But he's on his way downstairs that morning, goes past the attic door, and it's open. And he's like, I swear to goddamn, I remember shutting that last night. I'm pretty sure I shut that. I don't know why it'd be open, unless maybe one of my parents were moving something in or out of the attic. But it's weird, thought I shut that. And he thinks reasons why he could have heard that piano the night before. He's like, what was that all about? It's maybe the cat or something? It's got to be, or maybe it's, I don't know. Pianos are made with strings, as Dylan alluded to earlier. I bet it was the wind, the attic wind, rustling through the wood, the porous wood of that nice piano and ruffling the strings, causing them to vibrate ever just so slightly to cause a sad melody to reverberate through our home. That's got to be what it is. I'm such a smart kid. Then he gets distracted because he's like, it's prank time. I've been thinking too much about ghost stuff. I need a break. Got to refuel. Look at these moving boxes. I bet I could fit in one of those. I'm going to hop in one. And then, next person to come through this kitchen, I'm going to scare the fucking bejesus out of them. That's a great idea. And I'm like, Jerry, that is a great idea. I'm willing to take that side journey with you for half of this chapter of a scary book.
So, you love the slice of life stuff in the Goosebumps books, which
I do. I do. So Jerry, he hunkers down in this box. He's in the kitchen. He's pulled the flap shut over his head, and he's waiting. He hears footsteps all around him. He's trying his best not to bust out laughing and spoil his own gag. He's like, "Who's that? Mom or is that Dad? Who's that? Who's it? Who's in there? Who's Mom or is it Dad?" And then he jumps out of the box. And he goes, "Surprise!" And it was Dad. And Dad lets out the startled shriek and drops his kettle and lands on the floor. And he's all mad about it. Dad's all pissed. And boy, it was a good prank. Yeah, it's a good prank when your dad gets so upset. He wants to beat you to death with a tire iron. That's good. Jerry was laughing hard. Like he described it. He's like, I was laughing like a maniac. I was like, well, Jerry, at that point, maybe feel a little bad for your dad. You did cause him to drop his tea kettle, but whatever. He said he thought he was going to drop his teeth, too. He says that a lot when somebody is, I guess, upset or something. He said, like his mom or his dad, he's like, I thought they're going to drop their teeth. I've never heard that expression, Dylan. Is that a popular phrase up in the Hampshires?
I mean, I don't really hang out with a lot of children from the 90s. No.
You don't? Okay.
No, not anymore.
I do. They're all my age. But mom comes in there. She's like, what's going on in here? And dad's like, it's just Jerry and his stupid jokes. Which I think is a funny thing coming from a dad. It's just Jerry and his fucking dumb jokes. God, I hate this kid. So anyway, jokes are over now. Back to being afraid of a piano. We fast forward to that night. Okay? Here's that damn piano again. But he's like, I'm a little too tired to investigate. Which kind of makes sense, because at this point, he's just hearing sweet, sad music in the middle of the night. It's not hurt him.
Yeah.
It's not done anything. If anything, maybe it's whimsical enough to drift him off to sleep. Maybe it's wind chimes the next door. You know, who knows? He really knows.
I have a question. If you had a not necessarily, I mean, she gets a little threatening at certain points, but like a non-harmful spirit in your house, like connected to an object potentially, like a piano or your desk or... I mean, you and I both buy a lot of old shit, so like, you know, you get a Vectrex or whatever, and she's got like fucking like a ghost attached to it. Dude, I'm gonna get one of these days.
Dude, a ghost Vectrex? I'm so hard,
right? So, but like, I would love that. It would be like the coolest lava lamp on the planet if you just had like, occasionally you'd see a dead child playing your Vectrex and just be like, don't touch my Vectrex, it's dangerous. Like, there's a short in the wires. It's like, okay, little ghost.
I'd be like, all right, you get it tonight, but
I'm going to fix that short in the wires. You're not going to disappear, though, because, like, would that put your soul at rest? Because I don't want your soul to be at rest, because this is too fucking cool. I want you to be, you'd just be constantly like, I'm going to play with a Vectrex. No, don't touch this cursed Vectrex. And you're like, okay, I want this time, but I'm going to come back for it. Don't you go anywhere. You got to stop me. And just be like, invite people over. Like, watch this. I'm going to try and play with the Vectrex.
I do love the idea of somebody trolling a ghost the same way that ghosts have always trolled us.
There's a moment in Poltergeist that's so amazing where, like, they're so jaded about the ghost thing that they're just like, yep, around like 3 o'clock, you're gonna have like the ghost storm that's gonna come through the kitchen, and like all the cabinets start opening. That's on schedule. Like watching like Craig T. Nelson and
I love it. Like, he's great. Those movies would not be the same without him. I think he does a lot of work in those.
But anyway.
But yeah. Hear that piano. He's too tired to investigate. Just falls off to sleep. Fuck it. Who cares? Piano ghost. It actually sounds awesome. We've decided. Next morning, he gets up, goes downstairs, and he's like, hey, Mom, did you hear that piano music last night? And she's like, eat your cornflakes. He's like, hey, if I can ask a question. And she's like, no, I didn't hear anything. To be fair
to his mom, Jerry already said earlier in, like, Chapter 2 that, like, he doesn't think they'd be able to hear it because they're all the way downstairs, and he's on the second floor, and then there's the attic. So I don't know why he's asking Mom if she can hear it, but whatever.
That's a good point. And, he's like, how come I have cornflakes anyway? And she's like, you know the rules. You can only have junk cereal on the weekends. I was like, God damn it. That's fair. Damn it. Yeah, I was sad for Jerry. I was like, dude, they got you by the balls, Jerry.
Me too. Yeah. It's just like, oh.
It's fair to take those things that are loaded with sugar, bud, but you keep getting them with your jokes. You're getting even. But Dad comes around. He's like, yeah, hey, the movers are going to be coming. They're going to move that piano downstairs in the living room. You know, you entertained the idea of wanting to play it. And we'll yank it on down to the middle of the house. That way you don't have to keep creeping upstairs in the middle of the night and diddling with it like you've been. We know what you've been up to, Jerry. And Mom's like, you're serious about the lessons, Chair Bear? And he's like, yeah, I mean, why not? Sure, whatever you guys think. I'll do it. Yeah, why not? And so the movers come, they get that piano downstairs, and they're just about to lower it to the living room floor when all of a sudden Mom screams bloody murder. Dum, dum, dum.
Turns out the movers were about to take care of that bonkers problem and about to drop a grand piano on a cat. Now, I don't know how you feel about fictional crimes against cats, but like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, I don't care what anyone says. That cat deserved to die under that Christmas tree.
Oh, the Christmas tree? Yeah. Oh, that's such a good part. God. You know, it's funny. I was me and some buddies were moving one of my recliners in my house, and we sat it down on top of Ralph, and a very similar thing happened. He He was like, meow. He was like, don't. And in all his cat way, he was just yelling, don't do this. And we reflexively all lifted the couch up so high we almost shoved it through the ceiling because we were afraid we'd kill the cat. So low ceiling, we were like, oh fuck! And we lifted it up, and then we had to like replace a light fixture. It was a whole mess, but we saved the cat.
That's good. I was worried that story was going to go sideways, even though I know that Ralph is still alive and with us to this day.
Still alive. This is Ralph too that lives with me now. But yeah, no, it's still the same guy.
Another terrifying cat story. We had kittens, and they like to sit. We had a stand-up washer dryer set, and the kittens like to sit in the recess of the washer door and watch the clothes go around in a circle. And they thought it was adorable. So one day, my mom's doing laundry.
Oh, wait.
She's throwing stuff into the laundry thing. We have 3 kittens. 2 of them are blood relatives. No. One of them is a foster kitten that her mom died, and so she was given to his mother cat. But the 3 of them were like tight as thieves until one dark day. So my mom's doing laundry, and then she starts to load up, and then a couple minutes go by. My mom's like, "Where's Henry? I'm looking for Henry." And then we hear like, "Meow, meow, meow." It's like, "Is that a cat?
Was he a race car? Is it a race car
on a spin cycle?" And so we open up the washer, and this cat falls out of it. Henry's a little upset about the situation. He's fine. He lived. He only died like last year, and this is like 12 years ago. So he had a nice long life.
Holy shit.
But
yeah, had a lot of healthy fears about the washroom.
My mom hates that story, and the way that my dad and I have spent years perfecting the sound of a cat going around.
I'm so glad it ended up okay, because I could see that just if no one heard, that would have been
also,
an awful
like, what
thing
if it
to
had
find.
been whites and it was just like hot bleach water? Like it was just like some darks and some cold water, and it was fine. But like,
you're right. Oh yeah, man.
And he also had kind of a weird meow, and for years we said like, "Oh, you rusted his squeaker. That's why he sounds like that." Because whenever he cried, like whenever he would like meow, it'd be like meow. It's just like, "Are you fucking okay? Like, what happened to you?" Oh, we know what happened to you.
Rusted his fucking squeaker. Man, that's good. Good work. Good work by your family.
So Bonkers is okay also, even though Jerry's just like, almost got what he deserved. It's like, I don't know if like a death by squishing is the same as him scratching you guys occasionally. His mom's just like, by the way, music teacher is coming on Saturday. It's going to be fantastic. His name's Dr. Shreek. And I don't know about you, but when I saw his name, I was like, okay, so it's not Ghosts necessarily, because it's got to be this motherfucker, because his name is Dr. Shreek.
Yeah.
So Dr. Shreek shows up, and he looks like a Santa Claus, except he doesn't have the beard, he just has the mustache. And he's like, he loves Jerry. Well, let me correct that. He loves Jerry's hands. He's a little fixated on Jerry's hands. And at this point, it's still a bit much, where he's just like, let me place your hands on the keyboard, Jerry, and let me see how they work. He's just very excited. He doesn't even really stick around for long. He basically stays long enough to be like, I love your hands. Here's your playbook. Goodbye! And then he leaves. And that's how that goes. And all he wants is to, he's just like, just practice out of your book. I'm just making sure that you'd be a good student and have lovely hands. And just excellent. A hungry expression on his face. And this is like, oh my god, this is why you need to vet people, because he's clearly like a kitty diddler, right? Like, this is not like,
oh yeah,
like, bum, child predator in the house.
Yeah, that guy will rust the squeaker, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we get that guy out of the house after he's already creepily came onto Jerry Bear's hands. But Jerry gets to practicing. You know, he's going over his notes. He's practicing his piano lesson. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Our alphabetical letters associated with music. And he does all that, feeling pretty good about it. and then that night, once again, I don't even know how far into the story we are. This is like, we're like 8 weeks in. There's so many nights and days. But that night, he hears piano music again. Surprise, surprise. I'm assuming he does it every night. But anyway, he hears it again. And he's like, well, someone's playing that piano music. Mom and Dad have to hear this. They have to hear it.
Yeah.
Because it's downstairs now. Remember? Now it's downstairs. It's in the family room. It's that same slow melody. So he creeps out of his bedroom, goes down the stairs, looking around, trying to be sly, trying to be quiet. Stairs are creaking. He's trying to be quiet, tiptoeing, holding his breath, doing the whole thing. Nearly tripped over an unpackaged box on the stairs, killed himself right in the middle of the floor, which would have been kind of a fun way to end the book early, but didn't. Goes around it, keeps going down the stairs. Who is it? Looking through the doorway, what's going on? Who's playing the piano? But before he could see, someone utters a horrifying shriek behind Jerry, shoves him hard, pushes him down on the floor in the middle of the night in his own house. Dum, dum, dum.
It was bonkers. At this point, I'm like, maybe bonkers is kind of because he's just like, he shredded my PJs. Like, fucked up my PJ. Like, I've been scratched by cats before, as I'm sure you have, as someone who has owned cats. Sure. I have even been scratched by an ocelot. I've never had.
Wow.
Long story. I've never had.
It's like a humble brag.
Yeah, it really was. They're so soft. Never had them, like, tear my clothes. Like, that's aggressive for a cat.
Yeah.
So mom's, like, concerned. Dad comes down. Everyone's just like, what's going on? Why is there so much screaming and hollering? And I think at this point, the dad's just like, oh, that fucking cat. Can we, like, just garbage disposal it? Like, just seriously. Because, like, look at his clothes. Like, he looks like should not be happening. Like, it looks like someone mauled him. This is awful. And the mom is like, bonkers, this is fine. He's just a little cranky in the evenings. Anyway, why are you downstairs, Jerry? I don't want to talk about killing my cat anymore. And Jerry is just like, I heard the piano. And his parents are like, oh my God. Just what the fuck, man? Like, you need to stop. You need to calm down. Just like, and his parents are like, are you going to prank the piano? Like, it's very expensive. Like, we could sell it, let's get a flat screen TV. Instead, we decided to keep it so you can do lessons. And like, are you going to prank the piano? Like, you need to fucking calm down. And like, Jerry's like wigging out though. He's like, it's haunted. It's fucking haunted, you guys. Just, I don't know why I'm talking like a newsie all of a sudden, but guys, come on. And so, at this point, this is why I like his parents, though, because at this point, the parents are like, he's clearly, like, distressed about this. And the dad's just like, you know what? This is probably just you're sublimating your fears about moving, going to a new school, and it's expressing itself as, like, this kind of haunted specter. But the specter is just your inner fears. It's not an external reality, but rather the way that your brain is processing your emotional disturbances. And at this point, Jerry's like, my dad took like a semester of psych, and he's just fucking full of it. I love this family, because Jerry's just like, my dad's so full of horse shit, like he squeaks. But whatever. Yeah. What are you going to do? You got to love him. And so next day, Jerry's hanging out with his apparently his across the street neighbor. I don't know how he never noticed that she lives across the street from him, because it's been like 6 months based on how many days and nights have been up and down.
Based on the night.
So he meets Kim Lee Chin, she's like she's gross. She's a disgusting person. She's just like, look at this fucking rotten apple on the bottom. I never had rotten food in my locker as a kid. I don't know about you, but I never like stored gross food in my locker.
No.
But she's just like, here.
Wasn't a food place.
No, that's like, ugh. But
I would actually be curious, like, what my locker even looked like. I have no memory of what was going on. There's probably just papers that were falling out of notebooks.
Oh, yeah, that was definitely there. I was definitely the kid that would occasionally open the locker and like a textbook would fall out with a bunch of papers and like,
yeah,
and just immediately like, no one saw that except for everybody. Walk. But she plays the violin. He plays the piano. He's like, this is a real meet cute situation. But she's a little more advanced than him, but he's okay. He's not going to be a braggart about it. He's like, oh yeah, I'm learning the piano. I'm learning from Dr. Shreek. And she's just like, and just books it out of there. She's like, like she does like a fucking Abbott and Costello act, but like just like, that's Curly from the Three Stooges. That's a completely different thing. Whatever. She just books it. She gets out of there. The moment he starts talking about Dr. Shreek, she gets a look on her face like, I fucking shouldn't have eaten that rotten apple. My stomach's all woo, I'm gonna go. I'll see you later. Bye. And runs away. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, man. She yabba dabba dude that ass out of there. Which was awkward for everybody. So, cut to this. We're cut right in. This is actually the first words of Chapter 8. Excellent hands. Excellent, Dr. Shreek declared. And Jerry's like, thanks. He's like, now play the piece again. Play it carefully, my boy. Slowly and carefully. Concentrate on your fingers. Each finger is alive, remember? Alive! Which is weird. It's a weird thing for anyone to say to anyone, especially a boy, right? Now, at this point, Jerry says, now I'm here alone in my house with Dr. Shreek, learning some piano. Mom and Dad gone out grocery shopping. They left me alone with not only what I imagine is just a pervert trying to teach me how to play piano, but also a cat that's trying to kill me. Two things in this house that I don't feel safe near. Dr. Shreek just keeps repeating weird things like, the fingers, remember, the fingers are alive. He's like, what's with this fucking guy and fingers? That's not right. But then Jerry starts picking up and playing. It's pretty good, Jerry. Now let us try to go a little bit faster. Faster, Jerry. Now faster. Not bad, Jerry.
I don't like
faster.
this phrasing.
Faster
like
this time.
this.
He keeps telling him to play faster and faster. And Jerry does. He can't help himself. He's just playing fast. He's Jerry Lee Lewising it up. It reminds me of a certain story from a famous co-host of this podcast. Folks are dancing uncontrollably. But Jerry doesn't, he's starting to refuse a bit. He's like, I can't do it. I can't. It's too fast. And he tries to stop. He even yells stop himself. He's like, stop, damn you, my fingers. Cut it out. Stop. Everybody stop. But he can't stop. Faster, Jerry, faster. Jerry's hands just gleefully obeyed, going faster and faster and faster and faster. Dum, dum, dum.
And he's still playing this piano. His fingers going faster and faster until they're throbbing and aching and tingling. And he wakes up.
Aw. Wait, what was he doing with his fingers
sitting
then?
on him. He fell asleep on his hands.
Oh.
Have you ever, fallen asleep in the wrong way so that, I've woken up sometimes and I can't feel anything below my elbow? It's like rubber. It's disturbing. I literally have to, move my whole arm because I slept on it, I guess, in one position for hours. It's
that's
so
wild.
unnerving.
That's probably happened, but it's not a regular occurrence. When you're saying your gangly ass is always waking up like a granddaddy long legs on the porch, and you're like, how'd that thing tie itself in a knot? Like, you're just doing
Basically, yeah. I can put my feet behind my head. I don't know if you know that. I'm wicked flexible.
Okay, well, we can date.
Can we? All right. Yeah.
That sounded pretty sweet. But also, have you ever had sleep paralysis? Have you ever woken up and consciously could not move parts of your body?
I used to have something that was
that happened to me once.
I used to wake up on the tail end of sleep paralysis where it felt fucking weird to move my hands. It just felt weird. I could move, but it just felt like everything kind of felt like oogie. But no, I've never actually woken up and had a demon sitting on my chest and staring into my soul. Have you?
No, just one time. I remember I was in high school. I still lived at home, and I woke up at some point in the middle of the night and was trying to convince myself to move my legs. I was like, I can't. And I tried to sit up. I had my eyes open. I was looking around the room like, okay, I'm not dreaming. And I was like, all right, let me stand up. Right leg on floor. Nothing was moving. And eventually I was just like, all right, fuck it. I guess I'm paralyzed. And I just fell back asleep.
The whole purpose behind that is so that you don't get up and walk around while you're dreaming and be a sleepwalker. I used to be a pretty heavy sleepwalker when I was a child. For me, that's why I never had sleep paralysis, because it wasn't fucking functioning for me. Maybe that's it. You're either a sleepwalker or a sleep paralysis person, or you're normal in between that. And I was a sleepwalker as a child. But, the scariest thing that's ever happened, I told you, and you're like, you were worried I had a psychotic break, but no, I was trying to tell you it was a dream, but you're like, Dylan, I think that's a psychotic break. I'm like, it's not a psychotic break. I was in college, I was living at home at the time, because, I lived 20 minutes from college, I'm not going to live on campus and pay an extra $1,000 a semester, that's crazy talk. So, wherever it is now, $20 billion a semester. I woke up, and I was still like half asleep. I was mostly awake, and I could swear to Christ, I heard a voice in the corner of my room saying, "I'm going to kill you."
Yeah, that's fucked up, dude.
And I woke right the fuck up at that point. But there's no one there, so it was okay. So all of it's a nightmare, except he hears the goddamn piano music. And Jerry, I like Jerry. Jerry's like, you know what? We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna go downstairs and we're gonna take a look-see at this old piano and see what's making this ruckus. So he goes down. He's going to solve it tonight, although we've heard kids in these books say that before. We're going to figure out this mystery tonight. And then it turns out that Petey the dog gets murdered instead.
Yeah.
Which is not
it's very much just like, you know, white people in a scary movie syndrome where it's like, I want to go to the source of the scary thing.
But I'm gonna read to you a little bit of Jerry's investigatory findings.
Please.
Nothing is going to stop me tonight, I told myself. Nothing. And this is Jerry talking. That's all from the first person, just in case you're confused. Okay. Tonight, I'm going to see who is playing that piano. The music continued. Soft, high notes. So light and sad. I tiptoed carefully through the dining room, holding my breath, listening to the music. I stepped up to the doorway to the family room. The music continued, a little louder. The same melody, over and over. Peering into the darkness, I stepped into the room. One step. Another. The piano was only a few feet in front of me. The music was so clear, so close. But I couldn't see anyone on the piano bench. I couldn't see anyone there at all. Who's playing? Who's playing this sad, sad music in the darkness? Trembling all over, I took another step closer. Another step. Who's there? I called out in a choked whisper. I stopped. My hands knotted tensely into tight fists at my side. I stared into the blackness, straining to see. The music continued. I could hear fingers on the keys, hear the slide of feet on the pedals. Who's there? Who's playing? My voice was tiny and shrill. There's no one here, I realized to my horror. The piano is playing, but there's no one here. Then, slowly, very slowly, like a gray cloud forming in the night sky, the ghost began to appear.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, that was my cue to speak. I was like, oh, don't blue ball me now. Oh, I need to come in now. I love that description of the ghost fading into view. RL does a good job. Does a good job.
Which reminds me, actually, if you guys are fans of Masterclass, have you ever heard of Masterclass?
No, I don't think so.
So Masterclass is like they hire a bunch of famous people in their fields, and you can learn something from them. They put together like a video series and some text and stuff. I got Penn and Teller's Masterclass for Christmas one year. It's amazing. I can actually hear Teller talk about magic, but they all teach you magic. We're not sponsored by Masterclass. I realize I do sound like a podcast advertisement for Masterclass. It's pretty cool. But R.L. Stine now has a writing for young people Masterclass. So you can
that's cool.
Sit down and watch his little video series on how to write for kids. And I think it's like $50. Like, it's not terrible. I think it's $100. I don't know how much it costs. Go to Masterclass. R.L. Stine. Hook me up later, all right?
Yeah, you can use our promo code Rusty Squeaker.
Welcome to our podcast, Rusty Squeakers. We just have to change the name of the podcast every episode because Dylan has no idea what the fuck's going on. So we're on Rusty Squeakers talking about Goose and Bumps.
Heck yeah, dude. Well, where we left off there with Dylan, there was a ghost coming into view. Written by Masterclass author R.L. Stine. Now, chapter 10 begins. It's not just a ghost, you know. It's rather shapely. He can tell that it's in fact a woman. It's a woman ghost. She has her head down. She's very focused on the keys. Now, Jerry does a good job of kind of staying calm here in this moment. I would have certainly shat and absconded. But Jerry, he hangs in the pocket, describes her as having long, wavy hair down to her shoulders, her face and skin and hair all gray. All gray. He asks, he gets up to the gumption to even talk. He speaks. He says, Who are you? And she turns, she stares hard at Jerry, which once again is Shatworthy. I'd have been gone. But he, again, hangs in there. She has no emotion. And then finally she speaks. After some time, she says, through a whisper, "This is my house. My house. My piano." Which at that point I'd be like, okay, great. You have to talk to my dad about some of that because he signed the lease, but I am perfectly fine with you having all of it if this is what you want. And I'm going to read you an excerpt here because it gets exciting. He says, "But who are you?" I repeated. "Are you a ghost?" Like, no shit, Jerry. Come on. The fuck? But anyway, as I uttered my frightened question, she let out a loud sigh like she too was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And as I stared into the grayness, I saw her face begin to change. The eyes closed, and her cheeks began to droop. Her gray skin appeared to fall, to melt away. It drooped like cookie batter, like soft clay. It fell onto her shoulders, then tumbled to the floor. Her hair followed, falling off in thick clumps. A silent cry escaped my lips as her skull was revealed. Her gray skull. Castle Grayskull. He-Man. Anyway.
Jesus Christ.
Nothing remained of her face, except for her eyes, her gray eyes, which bulged in the open socket, staring at me through the darkness. "Stay away from my piano," she rasped. "I'm warning you, stay away." I backed up and turned away from the hideous, rasping skull. I tried to scramble away, but my legs didn't cooperate. I fell, hit the floor on my knees. I struggled to pull myself up, but I was shaking too hard. "Stay away from my piano." The gray skull glared at me with its bulging eyes. "Mom, Dad!" I tried to scream, but it came out a muffled whisper. I scrambled to my feet, my heart pounding, my throat closed tight with fear. "This is my house, my piano. Stay away." So Mom and Dad do eventually show up. He calls for them. He's like, "Mom, Dad, seriously though, for real." And they show up. Dad shows up first, grabs old Jerry by the shoulders, and Jerry's like, "Oh, thank God, finally, I can show someone some evidence," and points and says, "Dad, look over there. It's a fucking ghost." Dum, dum, dum.
Jerry, what the fuck is wrong with you? There's no ghost there. And there's no ghost there, because that's what always happens. Like,
it always happens.
I will say, it makes sense when we find out later why this ghost is fucking with him. So we're gonna just leave that. We're just gonna burp, burp, burp. It's never that the kid is crazy, by the way. Have you noticed that? Like, if the kid was actually could you imagine how fucking dark the book would get if there wasn't anything supernatural going on? It's kind of like the Garfield strips where they make it so you can't actually see what Garfield's saying because that John can't see what Garfield's saying, so it just turns into like this. Dude, are you?
Oh, it's sad. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you took every, like, Goosebumps book and it's like, they're just all mental illness. It's just 67 books. How many are there again? How many were we doing? I don't know. 2010.
62?
Yeah, sure. Just all mental illnesses. I mean, with the fucking dummy book, yes, they're both sociopaths, so that's clearly actually what's going on there. I don't even buy that there was a living dummy in that whole book. It's just both of them. They're both just serial killers in the making. Anyway, I realized, I don't know, I got past the cliffhanger. It's a fucking empty bench. And so the parents are just like, "Listen, we know you're sublimating your fears." And he's like, "Oh my God." And they're just like, "Is it the new school? Is it all the people there? Like, is it like the piano lessons? Is this all stressing you out?" And he's like, "No, it's the ghost." And he's like, "No, we'll take you to a psychiatrist. He'll figure out what's really bothering you in your psychonscious. I don't know what psychonscious is, but it's a thing now. Your psychonscious is where all the wiggly shit happens."
I do appreciate how progressive they are as parents, but it's frustrating.
I mean, but it's also like, this is what they should be doing. Like, if their kid is just, like, continually acting up about, like, the ghost that's haunting their piano, I feel like a trip to the therapist isn't unnecessary.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's actually, like, these are decent parents, I feel like, in a series filled with really shitty parents. Like, oh my God. The fucking Sari's uncle or dad, worst parent by far. 100%. Yeah. Like, I want to know what happened to the mom. I feel like he like, just...
You think he got her?
I think he killed her mom. I think he killed Sari's mom.
Shoved her down a mummy hole?
Mm-hmm.
You know he did. You know he did.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I basically covered the chapter. I guess that's what's distracting me. I have to spend 30 minutes longer than is necessary for each chapter. But they're basically, we're going to take you to Dr. Fry. He's going to fix what's going on in your brain. And they're just like, do you need us to walk you back to your bed? Because we understand that you might, like, wet yourself in terror because you're near this piano. I feel like his parents are fucking with him a little bit, too, because they're like, fuck this kid. Like, do you need us to walk you back to your bed? He's like, I can go upstairs. I'm not a baby. But now he's also terrified that the ghost is going to be waiting for him in his bed. So, like, it's kind of a one half of the other, or, you know, six in the hand in the bush, too. And, bum, bum, bum. That's how it ends, so.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of, like, strong cliffhangers, at least in the first chunk of this book, I feel like.
There's not. It's a strange build. But, he has a restless sleep. He's having flashbacks to his nightmare with Dr. Shreek. He thinks he sees things that aren't in the room. It's just clumps of his own blankets laying around. He's having a rough go. He even quips to himself, he's like, maybe I am cracking up. Which is not to say he thinks something is very funny. It means he thinks that he's having a bit of psychosis. But eventually, he does manage to get off to sleep. And then we cut to the next day. And Dr. Shreek arrives promptly at 2 p.m, as he does, and he's there to check on Jerry's homework progress, where he left him off last time. And of course, he jumps right into the business. He says, excellent hands. Those hands. Which is not the voice I used earlier, but it's getting aggressively more pedophilic. And Jerry says, yeah, thanks, I guess. Hey, practicing some of these classic scales and stuff, fine. I probably got to do it, but I was hoping to learn some rock riffs. You know, I want to learn some of that piano they be playing in the Guns N' Roses. You know what I mean? I want to do some of that Axl Rose piano-ness, if I could. And Dr. Shriek's like, yeah, well, in due time. It's not Dr. Shreek, is it? It is Dr. Shreek.
It is Dr. Shreek.
Yeah, he's got a PhD in something. He's like, in due time. In due time. We don't just jump right into rock riffs, which is fair. And, but you can tell Jerry's, like, not really interested in learning what he's got to learn to play piano here. And, he goes through the lesson. His parents ask, like, well, what do you think? You know, and he's like, oh, he's got some real talent. He's got excellent hands. You know, I tell you, he could probably start taking some lessons at my school down here. I got a school across town. He could just, he'd come there and take lessons. I'd do them on Fridays. And he keeps saying, Jerry, he has excellent hands. Jerry's like, I wish he'd stop saying it. It's giving me chills. He just keeps bringing it up. I don't feel comfortable with it. But Mom and Dad are kind of excited. They're like, oh, this guy sees so much promise in little Jer Bear. Oh, so good. I tell you what, Jerry, listen, I get off early on Fridays. I'll take you by Dr. Shriek's school. I'll be dropping you off there. You'll have an hour of lessons there every Friday. Does that sound good to you, Jerry? And he's like, God, I fucking guess, but, you know, maybe when I get there, I'll have a different teacher. Who knows? Maybe it won't be that bad. Fast forward a little bit. Dr. Shriek's gone. Jerry's watching it snow out, because remember, these are cold months. Months so cold that it'll make your attic hot. And he hears, once again, loud banging on the piano. Bang, bong, bang, bang. Loud banging on the piano, remind you. Not soft, sad melodies like we've been accustomed to. These are bang, 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 bang. And Mom yells for him to stop. She's like, Jerry, cut it out. But Jerry's not doing anything to the piano, Dylan. Dum-dim-dum.
It's interesting thinking about this. After after we know what's going on here, the ghost gets super fucking angry once Dr. Shreek is like, yes, come to my school.
Yeah.
And then, like, she's like, fucking bang, 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 bang. But so he's talking to Dr. Fry. We cut, like, we skip all the usual, like, Jerry, stop it. It's not me. It's the ghost. Jerry, for fuck's sake. And we cut to the psychiatrist, Dr. Fry. And Jerry's like, this is what's happened, I moved, blah, blah, blah. Also, there's a ghost. And Dr. Fry is just like, you know what you're doing is you're actually sublimating your fears about reality, say, like the stress of moving, meeting new people, and you're expressing that fear through other outlets, such as imagining a ghost or spirit, and, like, creating this kind of more acceptable external. And she's like, oh my fucking God. Did you go to the same psych class that my dad did? What is this? This is not, I saw a ghost. It's not a metaphor. It's not a sublimation. It's a fucking dead lady playing the piano. That's what Jerry should say. But he doesn't, because he realizes that the quickest way to get out of a psychiatrist's office is just to agree with the psychiatrist, which as I do every single week, works like a charm. So, but he's also, what's nice is Dr. Fry's like, you're not crazy. Like, this is normal. This is like, people have stresses and fears, and it comes out in different ways. And like, we'll figure out what's behind this crazy old ghost in your noggin of yours. And I don't know why he's talking like he's from North Dakota all of a sudden, but whatever. So, like, which is great, because while Dr. Fry doesn't believe he's seen a ghost, which to be fair, why would he? Because,
yeah,
I think even at this point, he's just like, would you believe your kid if your kid came up to you? And he's like, yeah, if he was telling the truth. And it's just like, okay, we have a disconnect here, which is like, you guys aren't seeing each other's pages here. But like, at least he's
like,
not...
how funny would it have been if Dr. Fry was like, oh shit, for ghosts, you're serious? There's like, he so easily believes what his patients tell him. That'd have been hilarious.
We just need to have like just a whole
we need
thing.
To get you out of that house.
Like a psychiatrist who just believes I keep hearing voices in my head, doctor. It's like, oh shit. What kind? Like, what?
Really?
Oh, really? What? Like, what kind? Oh my god! Like Jesus? You hear Jesus? Holy shit! Oh yeah. Can you say hi to my grandma for me? Like, no, I mean, like, I know you can't talk to my grandma, but pass it along to Jesus, and Jesus can tell my grandma. What do you mean she's in hell?
That would have been the best 10 minutes with the kid, and he's like, tells the parents, he's like, sounds like you guys have a ghost problem.
It sounds like your son has proof of the afterlife. This is amazing. We need to go on to the Ed Sullivan Show. Like, Dr. Fry, are you? Oh no! But so as Jerry's leaving the psychiatrist's office, he feels the ghost's icy grip on the back of his neck. Bum, bum, bum!
Oh my god, the ghost's icy grip way out here at the psychiatrist? What is it, following him? No, it's just his mother, because it's cold outside. She had cold hands, and for some reason she likes to grab her loving son on the back of the neck like he's a kitten by the scruff. Well, anyway, Jerry kind of realizes he's had ghosts on the mind, probably because he just told the psychiatrist about it for a full hour. And he's like, man, I got to stop thinking about it. It's really messing me up, man. So he does try to do that. A couple days go by. It seems like he has a couple days where not a lot's going on, thank God. He goes into Dr. Shreek's that Friday, gets some lessons on. Now, on the way there, we're not real sure where it is. We're trying to find this building, this school that's all the way across town. And Mom's not real sure where it is. And they looking for it. And they finally come to this old building. It seems like it's the right address, and he says it looks more like a prison than a school. It's got rows of little tiny windows above the ground floor, and they're all barred. There's thick ivy covering the front of the building, making it appear darker than it really is. And it's just, it gives Jerry a funny feeling. And crack the window down a little bit to look out because it's kind of foggy on the window because it's cold outside, cold enough for an attic to heat up. And they hear the sound of piano music floating through the air. And Mom's like, oh, I guess we found it. It sounds like there's music coming out of that there old building, huh? And Jerry's like, I don't know about all this shit. This looks whack. But he gets out, approaches the entrance. He's gazing up. He's got a real foreboding feeling. Just doesn't feel good about it. Just feeling nervous. But he does what he's got to do. He's Jerry. He's brave. He's going to take a big, deep breath. I'm going to go inside, and I'm going to show my excellent hands to this pervert one more time. Bam, bam, bam.
Work them hands, boy. I'm gonna make you squeal like a... Oh, sorry. That's not what happens, actually. This is basically... These two chapters, my worst fucking nightmare, which is... Oh, shit, I'm running late for this new thing that I need to be at. Oh, great, it's also a labyrinth inside where you can't figure out what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
There's no signs. There's nothing that says, like, main office this way. He's literally just going around and around, like, these hallways, not able to figure out what's going on. And he hears, like, he's walking past room after room filled with, like instructors playing music, and he doesn't look into any of them. He just hears, like, all these fucking pianos, so many pianos just playing constantly. At least he's excited. Like, at least he knows that it's an active school and it's not a murder house. So he's still looking for Dr. Shreek. He even sees a video camera up top, which is very rare in the 1990s. Like, video cameras had just been
93?
Yeah, like, they'd just been invented, like, a year before. So, like, he's just like, what's this video camera doing? And can he see me? Is he just watching me being lost and confused down these hallways? But then he sees something coming up on him. And it's just like, what is this? I'm sure it's a piano school. How terrifying can it be? I'm about to tell you how terrifying this is going to be. Because it's fucking terrifying. Be ready for this shit. It's like Home Alone. It's the furnace in Home Alone.
The furnace, yeah.
As I turned another corner, I heard a strange thumping sound. At first I thought it was just another piano in one of the practice rooms. The thumping grew louder, closer. I stopped in the middle of the hall and listened. A high-pitched whine rose up over the thumping sounds. Louder, louder. The floor seemed to shake, and as I stared down the dark hall, an enormous monster turned the corner. Its huge, square body glowed in the dim light as if it were made of metal. Its rectangular head bobbed near the ceiling. Its feet crashed against the hard floor as it moved to attack me. Eyes on the sides of its head flashed an angry red. "No!" I cried, swallowing hard. It uttered its high-pitched whine in reply, then it lowered its gleaming head as if prepared for battle. I spun away, determined to escape. To my shock, as I turned, I saw Dr. Shreek. He stood just a few yards down the hall. Dr. Shreek was watching the enormous creature move in on me, a pleased grin on his face. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah. Dr. Shriek's like, "Hey, Jerry? See you over there admiring our floor sweeper?" Jerry's like, "Your what?" He's like, "That's our floor sweeper, Jerry. It's rather special." Jerry's like, "You mean that thing right there is a machine of some sort? It's not like a demon trying to suck the life out of my soul?" He's like, you didn't think it was alive, did you, boy? With the excellent hands, you." And Jerry's like, well, I mean, it looked like it was trying to murder me. And Dr. Shriek's like, "Oh, that's okay. Mr. Toggle, our crafty janitor built this one for us. It works like a dream. Boy, it sweeps the floor. I tell you what, he can build anything, that Mr. Toggle. Genius. Genius." And Jerry asks the very reasonable question of, well, why the fuck does it have a face? And why is his eyes glowing red? Like, was that part necessary? It sweeps floors. And Dr. Shriek's like, it's just, Mr. Toggle's got a sense of humor. He put those cameras into it. I tell you, that guy, he could do anything. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't get much done around here. That Mr. Toggle's so good. So good. So we're hearing a lot about Mr. Toggle. And we finally get over to our room with Dr. Shriek, get some lessons on. And he's like, Jerry's like, thinking, man, this guy fucking creeps me out. Kind of beats around the bush a little bit, and he's like, well, I'll be doing all my lessons with you. And Dr. Shriek's like, oh, yes, I'll be your basic instructor until your hands are ready. He's like, okay, all right.
Muscle memory is very important for learning an instrument. I'm assuming.
I suppose, yeah. He's like, man, okay, when my hands are ready. All right, I hope they get ready pretty fucking soon, is what I'm hoping. And then the lesson concludes. Dr. Shriek's very pleased. Wonderful, wonderful, very good piano fingering, boy. And then it's time to leave, and he's like, okay, I got to be honest with you, though. I had trouble getting in here. It's a bit of a maze, and I was chased by a very angry robot that you tell me only sweeps floors. But how am I getting out of here? And Shriek's like, no, you just take a couple of lefts, and that'll do it. Basically, no directions at all.
Keep going left.
Go left a few times until you decide you don't want to do that anymore. Then maybe take a right or two. And Jerry sets out on his way and gets lost basically out the gate. And he's looking around. There's doors everywhere. He's starting to take in the school a little bit. We'll see what's going on with this place. Finally sees a pair of double doors marked as exit. Seems like a reasonable place to head if you're trying to escape a building. But as he steps through, gruff, raspy voice says, "No, you don't." And he's grabbed. Uh-oh. Bum, bum, bum.
Has there ever been a time when someone's been grabbed from behind in one of these books and it's not a monster or something, like where it is the monster?
A cat or someone's aunt.
Yeah. Like it's. I mean, well, spoilers. This is the monster of the book, but it's Mr. Toggle. Yeah. It's just genial Mr. Toggle.
That old genius.
Yeah, he's just so wicked smart. Everyone's just so happy to see him, and he's just like, no, you're going the wrong way. You need to come on, buddy. That's not. Let me show you the correct way. And so, just gonna read to you a little bit. I'm glad they say that he has a gruff, raspy voice. Let's see how this plays out. So, Jerry introduces himself. So, I'm Jerry. Dr. Shreek says you made these cool floor sweepers. He smiled. His black eyes lit up like dark coals. It's a beauty, isn't it? I have a few other creations like it, some even better. Dr. Shreek says you're a mechanical genius, I gushed. Mr. Toggle chuckled to himself. Yes, I programmed him to say that, he joked. We both laughed. Next time you come to the school, I'll show you some of my other inventions, Mr. Toggle offered, adjusting his overall straps over his slender shoulders. Thanks, I replied. The front door is right up ahead. I was never so glad to see a door. I'm sure I'll catch on to the layout of this place, I said. He didn't seem to hear me. Dr. Shreek tells me you have excellent hands, he said, a strange smile forming under his stubbly black beard. That's what we look for here, Jerry. That's what we look for. Feeling kind of awkward, I thanked him. I mean, what are you supposed to say when someone tells you what excellent hands you've got? I pushed open the heavy front door and saw Mom waiting in the car. Good night, I called, and eagerly ran out of the school into the snowy evening. So, everyone's a bit of a hand fetishist in this school, which is concerning, but it's also a piano school. Maybe you're looking for that. It's okay, maybe. I don't know. It's concerning. It's concerning.
Yeah, I'm writing a congressman either way. I'd say that.
But Mom and Dad are just like, show us, you know, we put some good money down on these lessons. Show us what you can do. To be fair, it's been 3 lessons, but they seem real excited about his abilities at this point. 3 lessons over 3 weeks. Like, it's not, that's enough time to, like, maybe memorize a couple chords, I feel like. Considering how bad of a student I was when I was learning guitar. But so, but much like what happens in Night of the Living Dummy, they set him in front of the piano. He's just like, all right, I'm gonna do my thing. But the moment he gets down there to start like playing the piano, it makes out just low notes and banging key sound. And his parents are just like, what are you doing? It's like, stop making all this ruckus. Like, stop it. And he's just like, I'm not the one doing this. Look, no hands, Ma. Bum, bum, bum. As a ending for a chapter that's pretty also tame.
Yeah, pretty abrupt. But turns out they didn't believe him. They were like, no, you're being an asshole. We're real upset about it. We're paying good money for these fucking lessons. You don't want to show us what you got, Jer Bear. Why don't you go and get to your room? Think about what you've done. Maybe go hang out in there with like your ghosts and your horse shit. And he's like, all right, fine. Jesus Christ, this seemed kind of rough. And then Jerry's like, man, what did the ghost want from me there? It got me in trouble and started banging around the piano all kinds of ways. Stupid fucking ghost. I got it coming from both directions. I got ghosts at the house and I got pedophile at the music school. It's a rough time. And speaking of music school, fast forward to Friday, whole week goes by, and he's greeted once again by Mr. Toggle this time. Mr. Toggle's already kind of pulled the mask off of Mr. Toggle, so he's just going to go ahead and greet him when he gets there. And Jer's a little curious about the invention, so Mr. Toggle leads him into a big auditorium-sized room with all kinds of crazy shit, man. There's like tape machines, stacks of electric motors, bunches of tools, kinds of parts, video equipment, a pile of bicycle wheels like it's the bottom of the sewer from It. Several piano frames with like no insides, animal cages. I'm just like, what are you shooting a 9 Inch Nails music video down here? What are you doing? Old car with its seats removed? Well, now that was removing DNA. That we all know what that was about. All kinds of crazy stuff. Big green lights, speakers, microphones, knobs. I mean, just whizzes. Just tons of electrical equipment. It looked like he's a bit of a gadget whiz, is what I was probably trying to say there. And then he leads him to something that I thought was actually kind of funny. He takes him over to this big thing, and he's like, I want to show you some of my other musical instruments. And Jerry's like, okay, cool, man. That's cool. And he's like, do you know what this is, Jerry? And he holds up this shiny brass instrument attached to like this massive tank. And Jerry's like, I don't know, is that a saxophone or something? He's like, well, yeah, actually, yeah, you got it. It's a very special saxophone, though. See, it's attached to this tank of compressed air. That means you don't even have to blow into it. You can concentrate on your fingering. You know? You ain't got to blow it. You just finger on it, bitch. Boom, saxophone. Blowing's the hard part. If you just finger it all day, no big deal, right? Jerry's like, okay, fine. And then he finds
I don't know, I like blowing and fingering at the same time. That's kind of like my specialty.
That's how I was That's how I was taught. And then he has a helmet with eye controls to play keyboard. You can just like look at the notes and stuff. Like all kinds of like actually kind of cool stuff, like good ideas. But he's like, okay, well, I guess I'll go get my lessons. So he departs Toggle, and a Toggle. He assumes. What have I got? What have I written here?
No, Toggle tells him that there's more for him to see. Come back next time. You know, like I got more to show you.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, he departs Toggle, and Toggle's like, you can go ahead, tell Dr. Shreek I was what made you late, because you're out there looking at all this cool stuff. Yeah, tell him I was what held you back there, and I'm the reason you're late for your lesson. So he goes, he has his lesson, and or does he have the lesson, or he's on the way to the lesson?
He's on the way to the lesson. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so he's jogging across this enormous workroom, trying to get to Dr. Shreek on time, and as he goes by, he walks by this cabinet in this kind of workshop. And he hears a voice coming from this dark cabinet over in the corner that says, "Help me, please." Like, what the fuck was that? Dumb.
I'm gonna say we don't ever actually get an answer to what the fuck is in that cabinet.
Yeah, right.
Because is there a handless child in this cabinet that is dead? Like, obviously, it's not going to survive to the end of this book. This whatever, or they. I don't have to refer to children as it. I've been told. But like, it's there. They are in this cabinet with no hands, most likely.
No hands.
But and Mr. Toggle's just, don't worry about it. It's just some damaged equipment, which is even more fucked up if it's a handless child. It's damaged equipment.
Yeah. Or it's a kid that had shitty hands, so you didn't know what to do with it. He just shoved it in the cabinet.
But this is the first time Mr. Toggle like kind of lets his mask slip, because Jerry's just like, are you I'm not sure that's what damaged equipment, like most damaged equipment is like, help me please, like I'm just a kid. But like when our TV broke, it wasn't like, please help me, don't let me die in this closet. But Mr. Toggle's like, get the fuck out of here and go to your lesson. You don't want to be even more late, do you? And so Jerry's like, I'm just gonna go to my lesson. So the next day after his lesson, it's Saturday because he has his lessons on Friday. But he sees Kim. She's got her violin. She lives across the street, as previously implied, and he's shoveling the snow off the walk. And he's like, "Hey, I don't want to shovel the walk anymore. I'm gonna let Dad do the rest of it. You know, he feel a little left out if I didn't leave him a little work to do." But boo. And I did that wrong. I don't know what symbol that was, but it wasn't the best joke, so it didn't deserve the symbol crashes. But poo. Kim likes it enough to be like, yeah, I'll have some hot cocoa with you. That's fine. And that's not a euphemism, right? He's like, no, it's hot cocoa. And he of course burns his tongue on the first sip, which is accurate to every time I've ever had hot cocoa as a child, was basically just burning my tongue.
Yeah.
Every time.
I'm impatient.
I really am too. Still to this day. No.
Because it gets, once it's hot, and then it's like, it's only the perfect temperature for about 40 seconds.
Yep.
And then it's ice cold. Like, you don't have a lot of time to act.
No, then it's just fucking Yoo-hoo at that point, because it's just chocolate water.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. We didn't make
fine,
milk, I guess. I was never a big fan of Yoo-hoo. I'm going to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. Although, in my adulthood, I like it. Oh my god, when I made Nesquik.
You made it?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Because you get the powder.
Yeah.
So I would put.
Or like you went out into the fields and harvested Nesquik.
No. We had the thing of powder, and I would put like 6 scoops into a small glass.
Jesus Christ.
I had some wonder I don't have diabetes 20 years ago, and that's just been. I'm not made of diabetes is shocking to me, because I was literally just eating Nesquik with a little bit of milk.
That's hilarious. Well, it's funny. I used to, because my mom wouldn't buy me any of that shit, so I used to just steal her Slim Fast. It was chocolate flavored.
I mean,
and I was still just a fat little fuck, just down in Slim Fast.
Yeah, but it was Slim Fast in addition to your garbage, obviously. But
yeah.
But while they're having their cocoa, he's leveraging this moment. He's like, "Hey, why the fuck do you run out on me the other day when I was talking about Mr. Shreek or Dr. Shreek?" And she sidesteps it, but finally she's like, "Well, I don't know if you've heard the stories, but there's monsters in the school of Shreek." Bum, bum, bum.
And then it cuts to just synthwave 80s music, which felt like the segue you were putting out there. But, yeah, they get to talking a little bit, and she's like, you know, she drops, like, well, they're like monsters at that school. And Jerry's like, monsters? And she's like, it's not funny. And he's like, dude, I've seen the monsters. And she's like, what? And he's like, dude, yeah, I've seen the monsters. Mr. Toggle built them. He's a mechanical genius. And she's like, but, what? And he's like, no. Trust me, they're just floor sweepers. I've met one.
I love how he tells this like he didn't shit himself when he first saw the floor sweeper also. He's just like,
Right.
You fucking numbnuts. It's just a floor sweeper.
Exactly, yeah. And she's like, okay. Well, you know how those stories get started. They're probably not true, and they all got simple explanations and stuff. And he's like, what do you mean all those stories? Like, you've heard about other stuff? Like, not just monster stuff? And she's like, yeah, there's stories about how, like, kids went for lessons and never came home again, and then they vanished and just disappeared. And Jerry's like, well, that's impossible. And also said the same thing when I heard it. I said, well, that's impossible. If a lot of kids were going to this school and disappearing and the parents dropped them off there, then there's no way this school would still exist because we'd pretty much know where the kids were when they didn't come back. I mean, come on. But anyway, back into the kayfabe. He also remembers at the same time he says this, oh, wait, there was a little voice coming out of a cabinet earlier, so yeah, that makes sense. Maybe there are some lost children in there. He's like, but I guess that was probably also Mr. Toggle's. He invented a voice from a cabinet, is probably what that was. Just trying to reason it.
Can you give me a hand?
Yeah, and then they kind of go back and forth about how things are creepy. Can you give me a hand? God damn it, Dylan. They get to talking, and Kim is talking about his piano. And he's like, oh, this piano's haunted. And she's like, haunted? What do you mean haunted? And he's like, late at night I hear people playing it, man. It's a woman. I even saw her once. It's crazy. She's like, you're putting me on, right? He's like, no, I'm serious. I saw a woman late at night. She comes in, she plays the same melody over and over. And she's like, Jer Bear, come on, stop it. He's like, she talked to me and then her fucking skin fell off, which is not helping his case. He should have stayed small with the details to get her convinced, but he jumped right to, no, I saw her fucking hair fall out in clumps. And Kim, you can kind of tell, is like, oh, I see what's going on here. You're just trying to match my story. You're trying to, like, you're just trying to spread more spooky rumors. You know, this isn't helpful for anybody. And so finally her mom calls, so she has to leave. And as they're leaving, or as she's leaving, she can hear the piano playing that sad, sad melody. And Jerry's like, see, Kim? See? Now do you believe me? Dum, dum, dum.
Now it's bonkers. So,
God damn
Kim
it.
is like, all right, ghost, see you at school, and she pieces out. But then, later that night, he hears the piano again. He's like, that can't be Bonkers. I know Bonkers' play style. This is the ghost lady this time. He's like, I'm going to show mom and dad once and for all the ghost. So he steps into the family room to take a peek and... Bum, bum, bum. The chapters get real short around here. It's like...
Yeah, they do. In fact, I'm going to read you the whole ass chapter of chapter 22.
I told you we can't do unauthorized audiobooks. Like, I know you really want to do that, but we can't.
It's short.
Like, the legality is...
It's short. I'll start with the second sentence so that we have some culpability.
Okay.
I couldn't see her eyes.
Wait, what was the first sentence now?
She had her head down, her long hair falling over her face. Damn, you tricked me! The piano music seemed to swirl around me, pulling me closer despite my fear. My legs were trembling, but I took a step closer, then another. She was all gray, shades of gray against the blackness of the night sky through the windows. Her head bobbed and swayed in rhythm with the music. The sleeves of her blouse billowed as her arms moved over the keys. I couldn't see her eyes. I couldn't see her face. Her long hair covered her, as if hiding her behind a curtain. The music soared, so sad, so incredibly sad. I took a step closer. I suddenly realized I had forgotten to breathe. I let my breath out in a loud whoosh. You know how when you breathe out, sometimes you make the whoosh at the end. You go whoosh.
Well, I don't do. I definitely go like whoo. just like in the movies and motion pictures. Yeah,
right, like a Blanche Devereaux. Yeah. Well, he did a full oosh apparently, and then she heard that. She was like, "What? Did you just fucking make a whoosh?" And so she stops playing the piano. He's like, maybe the sound of my breathing alerted her to the fact that I was there. Like, yeah, probably. If you go around just trying to sneak, and then sometimes you hear somebody go whoosh. It's like, yeah, that'll fucking get your attention, Jerry. Anyway, she says, as she raised her head, or he said, nobody says this. R.L. Stein says, as she raised her head, I could see her pale eyes peering out at me through her hair. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I didn't make a sound. The stories are true, she whispered, a dry whisper that seemed to come from far away. I wasn't sure I had heard her correctly. I tried to say something, but my voice caught in my throat. No sound came at all. The stories are true, she repeated. Her voice was only air, a hiss of air. I goggled at her. What stories? I finally managed to choke out. The stories about the school, she answered, her hair falling over her face. Then she started to raise her arms off the piano keys. They're true, she moaned. The stories are true. She held her arms up to me. Gaping at them in horror, I cried out, then started to gag. Her arms ended in stumps. She had no hands. Oh, dum.
Jerry has a mental break at this point. Like, an honest to goodness, like, he just gets so
he
fucked up that he can't, like, he basically comes to screaming with his parents counseling him and being like, are you fucking okay, dude? Because you're like, your wails have filled this home. Like, they're, like, the amount of screaming, like, and he doesn't even remember doing that. Like, like, Ghost is gone, no more stumps, everything's terrifying. Jerry is just like, fucking piano out, done with lessons, no more piano. And his parents are like, all right, that's cool. You do have to go to your last lesson because we kind of paid for it. And,
I did appreciate that part.
Because my parents 100% also. Like, no, we paid for your last karate class, you're going. And then after that, you can quit.
My daughter didn't want to do her swim lessons anymore. We're like, well, okay, first of all, you're 4. You make no rules. Second of all, we already paid for it. So we're going to ship you over there. And usually by the time we get her over there, she's already forgotten she was mad and wanted to quit anyway. So kids are dumb. True. You can trick them pretty easily.
I mean, Jerry's a little older than your daughter, but, like, still, like, his brain is so malleable. He'll probably, like, by the time he's 25, he's not even going to remember the fact that he almost lost his hands to a piano ghost. But, so he goes to his lessons on Friday, and his mom is basically like, no, you can't, like, because he's like, let me just run in and tell him I have to go. It's like, I fucking have plans. I have errands to run. This is how I was going to distract you for an hour while I ran errands. So get the fuck out of the car. Because I'm not going to the beauty salon and then the mall and then all the other bullshit I have to do with a fucking whiny ass child who doesn't know when to not prank. So get the fuck out of the car. And so Jerry goes in and he's like, God damn, errands. As he's going to his lesson, though, he's just like, I've never actually seen another student of this school ever. Like, I think he said he could see the instructors through the windows, like, moving in time with the music and everything, and be like, but he can't actually see the students. You can just hear the music and see the instructors seeming like they're having a good old time in there. But he does his lesson, and then at the end of it, he does exactly what I do, which is wait until the very last minute before being like, oh, by the way, I can never go back to the lesson again. Bye. Like, you just drop your big emotional truth on someone and just fucking get out of there before you have to deal with the fallout. That is my preferred method of dealing with everything. But at the very end of the lesson, Jerry's like, Dr. Shreek, I'm real sorry. I'm now noticing your name is Dr. Shreek, and there's a lot of rumors about the hands. I'm going to go. This will be my last lesson because I don't wanna. His mom even gives him an excuse. She's like, it's interfering with his studies, whatever the fuck you want to tell him. And basically Jerry's just like, I don't wanna do this anymore, so bye. And Dr. Shreek doesn't accept that, which is a bad thing. Like, he doesn't have to, like, Jerry could just say, I don't want to do this anymore. He doesn't need to come up with an excuse. And Dr. Shreek is like, no. I need your lovely hands. And that's when we're like, oh, it is a pedophile story. Bum, bum, bum!
Yeah, and it's at this point that Jerry's like, okay, I gotta get out of here. So he takes off sprinting. Oh, but Dr. Shreek isn't going to give up. He's going to be grabbing at him a lot for the next page and a half. just a running and slip, like not getting good because of that floor sweeper, probably very waxed, slippery floor, not getting a lot of good traction, slipping. Dr. Shriek's grabbing. We're getting shirts. He's twisting Barry Sanders and dicking and dodging like a goose shit through a goose, trying to get out of there. And Shriek's always gaining on him. He's never far enough away to where Jerry feels good about it. The whole time, Dr. Shriek is saying crazy things like, "Come back, Jerry. Come back, Jerry. I need your hands. You cannot get away. Come back. You cannot get away from me." And Jerry's like, "Oh, but I'm going to try super hard." And so Jerry eventually kind of becomes lost because, as we talked about, the prison/school that he's in is laid out very much in a way to trap people. It's kind of like the H.H. Holmes house, but for piano kids.
Yeah, there's like bars on the window and shit. Like,
yeah, not a fun spot. So he's like, he just starts screaming for Mr. Toggle. "Help, Mr. Toggle, help, I'm lost." And Dr. Shriek is, I want to say, malfunctioning. So he finds some double doors, as we always find when we're in trouble, and pushes them open. And Shriek realizes where he's going and says, "No, Jerry, don't go to the recital hall." But it was too late. I pushed through the doors and bolted inside. I'm reading from the book now. Still running, I found myself in an enormous, brightly lit room. I took a few more steps, then stopped in horror. The piano music was deafening, like a never-ending roar of thunder. At first, the room was a blur, then it slowly began to come into focus. I saw row after row of black pianos. Beside each piano stood a smiling instructor. The instructors all looked alike. They all were bobbing their heads in time to the music. The music was being played by... It was being played by... I gasped, staring from row to row. The music was being played by... hands. Human hands floating over the keyboards. No people attached. Just hands. Oh, dum dum dum.
Jerry, just like football player Jerry Rice, thank you for the nod, Jerry books it. Shriek goes in for a tackle, like just a full body tackle, goes for his legs, but like Jerry jukes to the left, gets out of the way, but Shriek is up again. Like he gets up off that floor, and he's described as like a big man with white hair. So on the older side, we're assuming, unless he's like got some like albinism, which doesn't really affect your ability to be an athlete. So he's either way, he's a larger gentleman. You don't expect him to be fleet of foot, but yet Shriek is. I only have like this chapter's a page and a half. I'm making it stretch it out though. I'm stretching.
You're doing a number on it. Yeah.
Shriek is getting near him. He can almost feel his breath on us. Jerry Rice is streaking down that field with Shriek right behind him. And bum bum bum.
Well, Shriek gets a hold of him, lifts him up by his ankle like he's some kind of, I almost said fish, but you wouldn't lift a fish by its ankle, would you? Maybe another type of dead varmint. But Shriek claims, I need those hands, Jerry. And this is not a good time for Jerry. Jerry's in quite a bit of trouble. So he screams help. It's all he's got. He screams help, 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 help. And then look who burst in to save the day. Not Bonkers, like we all hoped. Nope, it is Mr. Toggle. Mr. Toggle bursts through the door, and now Jerry's happy. He's like, oh, thank God, Mr. Toggle. Oh, please help me. He's crazy. This guy's crazy. As you can tell, he's lifted me up as if I were a fish with ankles, and he's holding me up. And Mr. Toggle says, Jerry, don't worry, bud. I got you. Walks over to a big control panel and flips a switch. At this moment, Dr. Shriek stops, slumps over, probably dropping Jerry to the floor with a fish-like thud. And you're like, oh, that sounded like a fish with ankles fell there. And then another switch that he flips kills all the piano hands and instructors. So all that shuts down. All the music stops. Jerry at this moment realizes what we all knew for a long time, is that everything in here is a robot. Jerry says, robots? All robots? And Mr. Toggle says, yeah. He's like, Dr. Shriek was a robot? He's like, yeah. He's actually my best creation. Real lifelike, isn't he? Jerry's like, they're all robots. Toggle's like, yeah, primitive ones. They're not as advanced as my buddy Dr. Shreek here. He's like, you made all these? He's like, yeah, every one of them. I sure did. Yeah, bud. Jerry's all a mess. He's like, what? I can't believe what's going on here. I thought Dr. Shreek was real. Now he's a robot. And things are, what? If you created a robot that just tried to murder me, shouldn't I be afraid of you? I'm starting to do the math a little bit. This still seems like a problem. And he's like, well, I gotta go now, Mr. Toggle. It's good seeing you. What a day. Toggle's like, oh no, not just yet. Jerry turns to face him. He's like, you can't leave just yet. See, because I need your hands. And Jerry's like, oh, what? No, not you too, son of a bitch. He's like, that will be your piano, Jerry. Points over to a piano where a gray-suited instructor stands lifely beside of it, a smile frozen on his face. He's expecting Jerry to get to work here. A little more piano playing. Dum-dum-dum.
I'm just gonna start with the beginning of this chapter. I started backing toward the double doors, one step at a time. Why? I stammered. Why do you need my hands? Human hands are too hard to build, too complicated, too many parts, Mr. Toggle replied. He scratched his black stubbly beard with one hand as he moved toward me. But, I started, taking another step back. And I can make the hands play beautifully, Mr. Toggle explained, his eyes locked on mine. I've designed computer programs to make them play more beautifully than any live human can play. But I can't build hands. The students must supply the hands. But why? I demanded. Why are you doing this? To make beautiful music, naturally, Mr. Toggle replied, taking another step closer. I love beautiful music, Jerry, and music is so much more beautiful, so much more perfect, when human mistakes don't get in the way. Which is concerning. Like,
yeah.
Just, it's a little unsettling. Like, I feel like humanity is not, like, this is a great indictment of ChatGPT and other AI bullshit things taking creative pursuits away from humanity and putting it in the hands of the robots. Thank you, R.L. Stine, for showing us the way. Hallelujah. All right, anyway, so
Hallelujah.
Let's get this over with, because we spent like 3 hours on this book already. So
I'm sweating.
Jerry
a lot.
Yeah, my fan is not doing the trick right now. Jerry is just like, I need to get out of here. I need to go. I like music too. Jerry Lee Lewis, one of my favorites. His hand's still attached, I can't help but notice, so I'm just gonna go. But before he can do that, the ghost decides she's gonna make a house call at Dr. Shriek's School of Music, and she's in the way, and she looks so mad. She looks pretty upset. As far as ghosts go, not a good place to be for Jerry. And bum bum bum.
Bum bum bum. She says, I told you to leave me alone. And then she floats past Jerry, and Jerry's like, oh, thank God. And she goes over toward Toggle. And then she declares, I don't know if declares is the right word, but she beckons beings by yelling, awaken! And then some ghosts rise up. They come alive at the pianos. And they float after Toggle, who's like, fuck this, I'm gonna get out of here. And he runs out toward the door, but guess who's there to save the day? Jerry. Jerry's stopping an adult.
Jerry Rice as a great defensive lineman.
Mm-hmm. Just like, yep. And at this point, the ghosts come, they pin old Toggle down. And we're not real sure what the ghosts are up to over there, but they got him pinned down. And the ghost woman, she turns to Jerry and she goes, I tried to warn you. I tried to scare you away. I lived in your house. I was a victim of this school. I tried to frighten you from becoming a victim too. And Jerry's like, and she's like, run, hurry, call for help. For some reason, I guess because probably there's disembodied children all over the premises, so that's fair. And then, and I have a problem with that because she fucking piqued his curiosity by playing sad piano music in the middle of the night and luring him up there to begin with. She attracted him to the piano, which made this whole thing start. So fuck her and her lies. Okay, she's kind of to blame for this whole thing. They
weren't going to find that fucking piano anyway. Also,
It wasn't playing itself in the middle of the night. No one would have given a shit.
I'm just thinking, We'll talk about it later. You wrap this chapter. We're almost done. We're at the last chapter.
We're almost done. All right. As you try to warm him, she tells him to go get help. The ghosts carry Toggle off into the woods. Again, who fucking knows what's happening? And the piano music ended forever. And it ends up the parents, fast forward, we get home. Parents have sold, they're going to sell the piano to get themselves a brand new flat screen TV. I believe it was widescreen in the original print, but now it's flat screen. We're advancing past the 90s. And Jerry's like, you know what? I think I'll try out for the baseball team. And he does. And everyone says he's got great hands. That's the end. He's got great hands.
Yeah.
Toggle was beaten to death out in the woods by a bunch of ghosts. And Bonkers remains a menace to society. And no one shuts down that school, apparently. It's just a crime scene with no... It's just a crime scene now.
With a bunch of fucked up hands in there, like biological hands, and hopefully at least one little girl who might still be alive in a cabinet somewhere. Jerry never mentions that. He's just like, yeah, I quit school.
and that girl in the cabinet,
well, this is,
I just now remembered it when you brought her up.
This is one of those stories, too, that has no real consequences because all of this took place out of the sight of his parents, and he's quit the school, and he's already told them he doesn't want to play the piano anymore. So his mom picks him up, they go home, and that's it. Why would they ever go to, like, back to the Shreek school to see, like, how's Dr. Shreek doing? Like, as far as his parents are concerned, this was just a weird little episode in their lives where, like, for 3 or 4 weeks, their son thought there was a ghost in their piano. But don't worry, we got a flat screen out of it. And, like,
that's right.
It's kind of wild to me that, like, Jerry basically, like, just fucking sacked up and dealt with all this on his own. Just barely managed to get out of it. But he's okay.
And apparently there's, like, a ton of handless missing children that no one ever talks about in this town. Like, I feel like that should be posters all over the post office.
Well, we have to assume that he's farming from different locales. So if you
think,
because like think about this, like this could be like one of those schools that's like a boarding school kind of situation. You bring kids from like a couple counties over, they stay the summer. Oops, the school bus it crashed and all the children died on it. Strangely, all their hands were severed. Like, think of how many accidents he can make. If he can make robots that are super realistic, how many hit and runs happen in this town? And like, oh no, little Timmy's hands fell off in the accident. Like, this motherfucker, like, Mr. Toggle, his reign of terror can't be over yet. Like, just because a bunch of ghosts came after him? So, we started this podcast with you saying that you hated this book more than anything that you've ever read before. Why is that?
I don't know if I went that far.
Well, now I'm putting you on the back foot, so now maybe you'll say something nice about the book instead.
I think our recap of it helped some of it for me, but while reading it, it felt like he was just throwing a bunch of ideas out and trying to stretch to make them connect at the end. Because we had a ghost in the house, and we had a creepy teacher, and we had this... The mechanical thing, I don't know. It felt like it was like always on the verge of going off the rails. But I do kind of like the ending. I don't know how else you could have ended it, but I kind of liked the vision of having like the whole auditorium or whatever they were, the recital hall with all the pianos going and sort of like this mechanical, demonic thing that was all powered somehow. I don't know. I thought that was kind of neat way to end it, because I didn't really expect, I guess, that.
Filled with children's hands.
Yeah, I didn't expect that, but I don't know. I feel like the write-up was kind of boring, I guess. Maybe more boring than some others. Like, we talked about cliffhangers. It didn't really feel like good cliffhangers, you know. There wasn't really a lot of fear. I always felt like the ghost... It was like this tug-of-war between the ghost and Dr. Shreek, where it was like, one of these is bad, and I don't really feel threatened by either, really.
I feel like part of the problem is Jerry. And it is how well he deals with this whole...
He's too stable.
Like, we hear the story from Jerry's perspective, and he's, like, pretty much like, yeah, I'm fucking, like, these ghosts are scary and shit, but, like, gotta roll with it. You know, like, he's so easygoing through the most of the book. Like, and he deals with things, like, on a fairly level-headed way, even when things start going to shit. That it's hard to feel scared because he doesn't, like, he's like spooked and everything, but it's never like he's out of control, or it always feels like he's maintained some control. Like, there's some other books where, like, I feel like R.L. Stine goes too far in the other direction, where like the child is like terrified of literally everything. It's just like I shit myself because I saw a pencil. It's like, okay, dude, like calm down. Like it's just
little too neurotic. Yeah.
But I actually enjoyed the separate threat, and I love that the ghost is never explained. Like we never find out, like, oh, it was Lucy who disappeared or 25 years. Like, who the fuck is this ghost lady? Was like, she was a former student, but that's really all you know about her, and like. She seems like she's older, like, so it's not all children that he's been coveting. That's why I think it's, like, not just missing children, but, like, you know, adults, which are, you know, might not have someone looking out for them necessarily. Oh, you're an adult with lovely hands and also no loved ones. Come here. You know, so. You're homeless and a pianist? This one also, amazing. Come here.
This one also felt weird in that there weren't a lot of other kids. We had, like, a couple brief interactions with Kim. And I feel like that's usually where a lot of the fun in these books is like how the kids interact and how they sort of feed off the stories, or they come up with plans that we know as adults are stupid, but we're like, yeah, I'd buy a kid doing that. Where like Jerry is like your stable narrator the entire time.
Yeah, you really only get Kim and Sean.
Yeah, he's a little too sane. Yeah, he's a little too sane for these scenarios where it's like, all right, well, you don't seem that worried about it, Jer Bear, so I guess we're good.
You got this in hand, buddy. Like, we're gonna be fine. Like, as much as we give Tomb of the Mummy... That's not the name of that book, is it?
Jesus, no, it's not. Curse of the Mummy, I think.
Fuck. This isn't a bit, is the sad thing. I genuinely don't...
I would love for you to go through and rename all the books. I know Upstairs, Downstairs is number 2.
Well, there's Welcome to Dead House. I know that's the first book. Stay Out of the Basement is the second one. Monster Blood's the third one. Right? The fourth...
yeah, I think so.
The fourth one is Say Cheese and Die. Or is that the fifth one? Say Cheese and Die. But you've already corrected me about that one, so that's not fair. There's The Ghost Next Door. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, that's in there.
I can't look at the shelves. The Girl with the Haunted Mask?
It's not The Girl with the Haunted Mask.
It's just the Haunted Mask.
It's just the Haunted Mask.
I made that so hard to mind. Okay, well, fuck it. And so I actually enjoyed this one more. Like, it was a nice, fun ride for me, and I liked that not everything was explained. The one thing that bothers me, you're gonna roll your eyes. Why are the hands floating? How are the hands floating?
Okay, I was like, there's some magic going on that's not explained by his mechanical wizardry, but also, too, and I think I was going to point out about the temperature problems with this book. So Shreek is a robot, but there's a part in the book where his cheeks become rosy because it's cold outside.
Oh, that's a lot of extra work for your robot.
Yeah. And I was like, well, what the fuck temperature is it outside? The attic's hot, the outside's cold, the robot's in between.
I'm going to go check the temperature in my attic this winter, and when I come downstairs, it's 95 degrees up there, buddy.
I'd love to know. I mean, if you got a good fire crackling downstairs, like, don't cheat. But if it's like a nice room temperature.
My attic is like right above. Like, it's only one floor up, so all the heat does go straight up in there.
I mean, it makes sense. I get how like heat works.
No, but I'm saying like most houses, like, you know, it's like it gets narrower and less space, and you're not necessarily heating the second floor as much as you're heating like the first floor. But because we're living on the second floor, we have the heat on blast down here, so maybe it gets warmer, or maybe I'm just full of shit. That's equally possible. I have realities in my head that don't exist anywhere else.
I lived in a house without central heating and cooling, and the upstairs of my home was always the extreme end of whatever temperature it was supposed to be. If it was a little warm outside, it was hot upstairs. If it was a little chilly outside, it was freezing upstairs. But that's just me. That's just me. But anyway, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to give this book 3 disembodied hands out of a potential 7. I'm going to go 3/7 on it.
I'm going to go...
Which I think is fair to it. It's almost halfway. I mean, it's just... it's a 2.5 star out of 5 on Letterboxd. I still like that. It's just not great.
I would say... Oh, man, I'm going to go so much higher than you. It's not... It's
okay.
It's not.
It's all right to be different.
It's not okay to be different. We need to be the same forever. I would give it like 6 out of 8 tickled ivories.
Tickled ivories?
Yeah, that's what you call it when you tickle the ivories when you play the piano.
Oh.
In this case, I mean, like when someone like rubs their teeth on, and their fingers on your teeth, though, is what I'm actually referencing, which is also just tickle my ivories. But I actually enjoyed like the fact that it starts off as a spooker, but it's actually not a spooker. The danger is entirely man-made. But then the spookers come in at the end, and they're just like, "Ooh, we're actually dangerous, but only towards the bad guys. Don't worry, Jerry. You go run on home, call for help," and then he gets in his mom's car and he goes home. I
did like having a righteous ghost, even though I blamed the whole book on her. But yeah,
she doesn't know what she's doing. She's fucking dead. She's probably like, "I'm gonna scare them with my piano." She didn't know that Jerry would be like, "Oh fuck yeah, self-playing piano, fuck yeah." Like, maybe she's just like, it's like the ghost in Beetlejuice when they first tried to like scare everyone out of the house and everyone was just like, "We love this." Like, they thought they were scary. I can completely buy that after the documentary Beetlejuice. So
the document, yeah. Well, there was a couple points of trivia I wanted to call out before we got out of here. We already mentioned the first one, which was that the ebook replaces the Nintendo room with just the video game room, which is fine. Because,
fine?
Whatever, but...
What was out? Was the Wii U out? Maybe they didn't want to be like, "Oh yeah, the Nintendo kids love."
Yeah,
like
maybe.
It was right before
I'm not
the
sure.
Switch came
I don't know.
out, and Nintendo was back on top with everything. So
I think it was just one of those things where, like in 1993, every adult, including R.L. Stine, called any video game a Nintendo.
That's true.
And now he's realized that there's other types. Also, the tagline for this book, so on the cover itself, there's always little fun taglines, and this one says, "Play it again, hands." And apparently that was an allusion to the phrase, "Play it again, Sam," a common misquotation of a line from the film Casablanca, which, interesting choice to put as a tagline for a book for small children. They're not going to get a Casablanca reference. But also, misquotation. It's I think that quote is actually just says, "Play it, Sam."
I think he says like again. Also,
not play it
he
again.
just says like again, like at certain points. Also, but yeah, because it's not just
interesting.
one line scene, but it's like it's not Luke. I am your father. It's no, I am your father. Like, that's another famous misquote.
Right, and I blame that one on Chris Farley. But yeah, that's another good episode from us. We've done it again, folks. I think we did a good job.
You'll never hear it.
I like to say that at the end of an episode. I like to tell us what a good job we did.
But if you'd like to reach out to us here at Getting Goosey, you can email the show at wegotgoosebumpspodcast@gmail.com. Holy shit, what was I thinking when I came up with that? Once again, that is wegotgoosebumpspodcast@gmail.com. And that's for if you have any questions, comments, want to know why the show was on an 8-month hiatus. That was crazy. You can check us out there.
Hey, Dylan, did you know we got an email? I just looked. We got an email from August 17th from a one Melanie who says, "Hi, Dylan and Travis. Recently found the We Got Goosebumps podcast, and I love it. I was a huge fan of the Goosebumps books as a kid, and it's been a lot of fun to revisit the series along with you guys as an adult. So much nostalgia. Also, really appreciate the long format." Well, thank you, Dylan. I was a bit hesitant about our long format, but Dylan, bringing it home. "I have a really long, crappy commute for work, and your podcast really helps. Thank you for creating it. Really looking forward to season 2. Have a good one, Melanie." What a great email, Melanie. Thank you for reaching out.
You know what?
You could be like Melanie.
That's
email.
Not too far back, too. We're doing pretty good considering. Hi, Melanie.
Hi, Melanie.
We dedicate this one to you. Do we? Is that
sure
a weird thing to do?
Hopefully.
Like, I guess if I say it, if I say it like that, then it becomes weird. Like if I say it like in that weird kind of like, do we?
Yeah, that cadence was
very
odd.
Weird cadence. Hi, Melanie. Thank you for the email. That was lovely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Hope you have both your hands, and it's okay if you don't. But we hope.
Jesus Christ. Okay, that wasn't any better. Let's just thank you for the email. We also are on Twitter. We're on Twitter. At Say Cheese and Pod. You can message us there.
There's been no action there for some time. But you can also, if you'd like, you could support the show on Patreon by going to patreon.com/polykill. That's the flagship podcast for the entire Polymedia Network. So any contributions you make to that Patreon will impact this show as well and help keep the lights on for us. And with that, Dylan, would you like to close us out by teeing us up rather. We'll tee off next episode, but you can tee us up for next episode by reading the back of the next book.
This one goes out to you, Melanie, wherever you are.
Okay. All right.
There's something weird happening in Fever Swamp. Something really horrible. It started with the strange howling at night. Then there was the rabbit, torn to shreds. Everyone thinks Grady's new dog is responsible. After all, he looks just like a wolf, and he seems a little on the wild side. But Grady knows his dog is just a regular old dog, and most dogs don't howl at the moon, or disappear at midnight, or change into terrifying creatures when the moon is full. Or do they? Do they, Melanie?